looking at. So again, it could be a long evening here across the area, but this is just one area that we're watching so far. And again, this has been kind of a messy setup with this one cell because it has a couple of other cells that it's competing with, but it is something that we're noting, that area of rotation within this storm. And if we pull up the radar site out of New Orleans, you can see there are kind of a couple of little areas of rotation. Again, the main one is this one right here. But if you notice, there's a little bit of rotation here and a little bit of rotation there as well. So it's something that we'll have to monitor throughout the rest of the afternoon. We got two little competing cells that are trying to become supercells themselves, and all this will move off towards the north and east. So this is something that we're going to be monitoring. Elsewhere across the rest of the Pine Belt, things are quiet. This is the only game in town so far. We got one little shower out here towards Lumberton, obviously not severe. One little shower just to the south and east of Leakesville, but it's this one cell right here that we're watching just to the north and west of Columbia that has our concern, and this is going to be moving off towards the north and east. Now, we also have meteorologist Hannah Hayes here. So, Hannah, are you noticing anything with that as of right now? Not noticing anything else with it. Okay. Has the Weather Service said anything?
They have not.
They have not? Okay. Well, if they do, you just say something.
I will.
All right. She is watching chat for us, and that way we are tag teaming this out this evening. And if we need to, TMP, use whatever camera that you need to get her. But this is what we're watching right now, is this one tornado warned supercell off towards the west. Again, this is not the greatest area of rotation by any stretch of the imagination, and it is currently moving off towards the north and west. What we'll go ahead and do is we'll load up that sky cam out of Columbia right now. It's going to take a second. Obviously, this storm is going to miss this camera site by about 20 miles, so we're not going to see anything incredible with it. And the way today is, the cloud base is so low, we would never be able to see it unless it was almost on top of it. But you look at the sky, very dark off towards the west. Obviously, that supercell is about right here. It's still off towards the west, but notice just how fast the clouds are moving. You can actually see them moving. We got very strong winds aloft this afternoon, and this is allowing those thunderstorms to tap into that energy. And this is going to be just kind of a long day here across the area. Currently 79 degrees out there. It feels like 81. And look at the winds. Out of the south at 11, gusting to 22. Dew points, by the way, right around 70 degrees. So we got plenty of moisture to work with for today. All the ingredients, nothing is missing today. Today is the day. If it's going to happen, today is going to be today that it's going to happen. We have so much wind shear aloft, and it's just going to be a day where everything is ready to go. And in fact, we've seen in some cases little showers that are not severe get that little kidney bean. Well, here's the case right here. This little shower, this is a shower, and it's getting that kidney bean shape. That means the atmosphere is molding this little shower into a supercell, and it could grow into a new supercell later on. Obviously, this is the parent one, and again, this is the one that we're watching, but it is a sign of how unstable the atmosphere truly is across the area this afternoon. And in fact, there is a little bit of rotation with that down there. As you can see down here towards Darbin. Let me make sure. Yes, you can see that on the screen down here towards Darbin, over here towards Oakville, and all this is moving off towards the north and towards the east. So we're going to continue to watch this as we go into the next couple of hours. But again, this could be a long night. And by the way, like I said, we'll go ahead and put a pathcast back on this. If we were to do some simple math, I don't like how wide that gets, so let me kind of trim that back down. Now we'll redraw it. So it's still moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Should this thing can kind of continue on that track, Bassfield, it'll get there right around 501, Melba at 508. I think it would go just north of Summerall, but it could be close around 518, 525 towards Collins, and possibly Moselle at around 546, so getting close to the 6 o'clock hour. And again, that's if it continues on this track. If it kind of deviates and tries to take a little bit of a right turn, I can't roll out Hattiesburg, but again, this is well beyond the scope of what the warning is saying right now. Again, the warning only goes all the way into extreme eastern parts of Jeff Davis County, but we kind of got to get an idea. I mean, this is going to be coming in at rush hour, folks. it's not the best time, but we're still watching it. And again, I'm not seeing any signs just yet of anything that says this thing is on the ground. I'm looking at velocity. I'm looking at debris. I don't see anything that says that this is on the ground just yet, but it is worth noting we do have a a decent area of rotation with this at the moment, and I'm looking to see if anything is new has came in so far. Hannah, are you seeing anything as of yet? Nothing.
They haven't put anything else up.
Nothing. Okay. But I am watching things. All right.
Okay, they just put it out.
Okay, so Hannah, read off that to me.
They are continuing the tornado warning for Jeff Davis County, Lawrence County, and Marion, Mississippi until 5:15. And the tornado at 4:30 was confirmed tornado over Oakville, or 13 miles northwest of Columbia, moving east at 35 miles an hour.
Okay, so we do have now a confirmed tornado on the ground with this storm. That is what you just said, correct? Yes, so the Weather Service is now saying confirmed. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not necessarily seeing it as of now, but I mean, I'm not disagreeing with them. I mean, today is the kind of day. Okay, I think I may see it. I think I see it. I think it's going to be this little area right here. I think it's that little area, and that would be the area of rotation. So again, the Weather Service is now saying that there is a tornado on the ground with this storm. So you need to take cover now. So tornado on the ground with this storm right here near 587. This would be, so get your bearings here, this is Marion County, this is Jeff Davis County, this is still back here into Lawrence County, but it is crossing 587 now, about to cross over the Pearl River, and the next towns in its path would be Oakville and Society Hill, and you need to be in your safe spot. But again, I'm still noting that there is some decent rotation with this storm to the south of it, out here towards the Darburn community. Notice there is no official tornado warning with that, but that right there is very intense to me, and it bears watching as well. Again, I'm looking at it with the correlation coefficient or debris detector. I'm not seeing any signs of debris with that storm, but apparently the Weather Service is saying that there is a confirmed tornado on the ground, and this thing is continuing to move off towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Still watching things move off towards the north and east. Again, this is the only game in town that we're currently watching at the moment, and things will continue to move off towards the north and towards the east. Hannah, I'm going to toss it to you real fast so that way I can get something to drink. So just take it over for real fast.
Yeah, so the only thing that like Patrick said, the only thing that we're watching right now is this tornado on the ground. That's what the National Weather Service is saying. It's right here by Oakville. If you guys are in that location, you definitely need to already be in that safe spot, of course. Again, we're not seeing any debris with this tornado on the ground just yet, so it's hard to pick up exactly where it is on the radar, but it's in the direction of Oakville and Bassfield. So if you guys are there or know anybody there, you definitely need to already be in that safe spot right now. Let's get another look on this debris signature. I'm not really seeing much right now to depict exactly where it is, but again, this rotation, let me draw on it really quickly. This rotation is right around here, right below Oakville, so it's definitely going to go in the east. It's still headed in the east direction at 35 miles an hour. So let me get a storm track on it really quickly. Just give me 1 second as I pull this up. But again, this is the only thing that we're looking at on the radar right now. Tornado on the ground near Oakville, just south of Oakville as it's headed east. Let me get this storm track pulled up really quickly. And it's still going at 35 miles an hour. So the times on this, if it's still taking this path, it would be 4:39 Oakville, Society Hill 4:45, Bassfield 5:02, Melba 5:10, Higgins 5:14, Summerall, if it makes it there, 5:20, and Ora at 5:26 p.m. That is what we're looking at right now. This is the path and the direction that it is taking. Again, it's moving east at 35 miles an hour. And we are still trying to find this debris signature on it. Let me see if I can pull that up really, really quickly. I'm still not seeing anything, but again, it is confirmed by the National Weather Service, a tornado on the ground just south of Oakville, coming up right on Oakville right now, again, around 4:39. Let me pull this right back up here. But it's still taking the same path as of right now. It's still headed east. And again, if it does continue with this same path as it's moving along, let me get this timing right, then we can certainly see it coming into areas such as Oakville, Society Hill, Bunker Hill. So if you're hearing your town name right now, you definitely need to get in that safe spot. Again, the safe spot in your home is the area in your home with no outer walls or windows. You need to have a bicycle helmet, something of the sort to put over your head, and definitely some kind of tennis shoes, any closed-in shoes, because goodness, if you have to get out of your house or anything, heaven forbid a tornado hit your house, but if you do have to get out, you definitely want shoes on to protect your feet from any glass or anything. So again, pulling this up again, Tilton 437, Oakville 443, Society Hill 449, Bunker Hill 457, and Bassfield 506. That is what we are looking at right now with this tornado on the ground. This is the only thing confirmed on the radar so far. And I'm going to toss things right back over to Patrick now.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah. And we're still watching this storm right now. If y'all want to bring it back to me. Now, I'm looking in Weather Service chat, and it looks like we may have had a brief touchdown earlier with this storm. Apparently, one of the emergency managers out of Lawrence County is reporting a firefighter is reporting damage out in Tilton. In the Tilton community. Again, that's outside of our viewing area. They have units responding at this time, but we are watching it at the moment. And there, like I've said, we've been watching this other little area of rotation as well. This is moving into the polygon, and I've asked the Weather Service, what are their plans with it? And they said because it's moving into a tornado warned polygon, they're going to keep it as is. And we're going to continue to monitor things very carefully here as this thing moves off towards the north and east. But we got a couple of areas that we are watching. Again, the report came out that there was a tornado on the ground, and I think there was at one point. I don't think it's there at the moment. kind of looking at some of the stuff, I'm not seeing the signs that it's still on the ground. I'm not going to argue with the Weather Service. I think if you're near Oakville, if you're near Society Hill, if you're near 13 in western Jeff Davis County, you definitely need to be in your safe spot. But I'm going to tell you, this looks way more impressive to me than what I'm looking at right here. And this is what the original tornado warning came out on, but this shower here is really starting to rotate pretty fast, and I'm seeing some pretty fast velocities with it, or the winds coming towards and going away from the radar. And should that one continue on, Morgantown would be on the next one on that list. So I'm going to tell you, Morgantown, I know the original warning is up here. It would make me feel better if Morgantown and Goss, basically northern Marion County, you go ahead and start getting into that safe spot. I don't have a good feeling about that, and the way today has been setting up, I just don't. So Morgantown, basically, if you live north of Columbia, you need to go ahead and get back into your safe spot because I'm worried about this area of rotation right here. Again, this is moving into the warning, but the warning originally was for this storm here, not for this storm. But this storm, I think, is tightening up, and it is moving close to Morgantown. So basically 587 near Morgantown, you need to be in your safe spot. Sometimes you got to love technology, folks. And again, you'll love our new set once we get it, but you'll have to work through some of the little kinks that may happen along the way just like that. But it's okay. We have technology, and sometimes it doesn't like us, but that's okay. But again, we're watching this area here, Morgantown, Highway 587, 13 towards Goss. You need to go ahead and be getting into that safe spot here across the area as everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. And I'm going to put a little track on this. With this new area of rotation, it would be coming into Newsom at 448, Morgantown at 450, Goss at 454, and Fortenberry at 456. So that's what we're looking at there. So this again should go just north, and I mean just north of the city of Columbia. I believe the city limits go up here to about the four-way intersection of 35 and 13. I think right here is the limits. All right, we got a new update coming in, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. But the Weather Service is updating everything that's coming in. So this is going to be a new update. The Weather Service continues. The tornado warning confirmed on the ground. At 4:39, a confirmed tornado was located on the ground or 15 miles northwest of Columbia, moving northeast at 20. And so they're going to continue that tornado on the ground tag with this. Again, I don't doubt it, but I think the tornado may have lifted because we're not seeing the signs of rotation or debris like we were earlier with this storm. I think there was a brief touchdown back here towards Oakville, which again, this is Lawrence County. We're talking about Lawrence County. It has not made it to Jeff Davis County, which is here. And we have this other area just to the north and west of Columbia, which is right here. And this thing continues to move off towards the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. But again, the one storm that to me, that storm in Marion County is still a bigger concern to me right there, just because of the way it looks on radar. We got the bright reds, we got the bright greens, they're almost turning blue. It's a sign that this is a very strong storm. And basically where it is too, you notice the original supercell, very hard to define now. Basically, this has become a giant blob of heavy rain with multiple clusters of thunderstorms, and that parent rotation is now embedded in this. So it's struggling to continue feeding itself, continuing getting the inflow. But you notice this one down here, no problems. It is wide open to the south. The air is just coming in. You have this, you have the inflow pocket right here. It is sucking in air. It has no storm to the south to compete with at the moment. And that's what has me a little bit more worried. And that's why I'm a little bit more worried about Marion County at the moment. And again, this is moving off towards the east. They say at about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And on this track, Newsom at 450. This will come into Goss at 455, Bunker Hill at 505, and Improve at 514. But again, this is very, very close to Morgantown. And in fact, I'm going to turn this back off. Morgantown, if you live near Morgantown, I would still be in that safe spot. This is a storm that it has my attention. It's going to be a rare event whenever a storm that has the parent tornado warning will deviate my attention, but this is the one that is doing so, and I think that this is going to be the new storm that we're going to have to deal with inside this warning. Again, the old rotation is here, and apparently we're getting a new area of rotation starting up right down here, and this is all again moving off towards the east at a good clip. At about 25 to 35 miles an hour. And again, you can see the radar, it's sort of maxing out a little bit. But again, the rotation's still completely there. We have the inflow of this thunderstorm. We have the other area of rotation up here towards Oakville as well. And that continues to move off towards the north and east. Now, Hannah, have you seen anything come out on chat, or are you noticing anything on your side so far?
Chat has not said anything, and I'm just looking at the same things you are right now. Nothing's really changing with this so far.
Yeah, and this is going to continue for a little while. It's going to continue off towards the north and east, and this is going to be something that we're going to have to deal with for the next little bit. Now, for the rest of you across the Pine Belt, you may be saying, Patrick, well, what about our area? Well, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to break away real fast, and I'm just going to show you what's going on across the area. I'll first do so and turn off all the watches and warnings that we can just see the radar. This is the only thing in town. This is the only game in town that we're watching at the moment. It is this one kind of clustered supercell that's kind of two supercells merged into one. This is it. This is the only thing we're tracking. And again, this is just to the north and west of Columbia. It's going to miss Columbia, but it is moving off towards the north and east, and we're going to continue to watch this. Again, this could impact portions of southern portions of Covington County later on past the 5 o'clock hour. But outside of this one storm, there's nothing else that we're immediately looking at here in our neck of the woods. Now, across the state of Mississippi, that's a completely different story. There are a lot of things going on across the state of Mississippi. There is a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch that is currently in effect across the state. In fact, we'll just turn this off so you can see. So we got this broken line of supercells across the state of Mississippi. We also got them extending down into Louisiana, just north of Alexandria, just to the south of Monroe, and then another one over here towards Yazoo City. All of this is moving off towards the north and east, and this is going to continue to do so over the next little while. And again, this is just one storm. We're expecting to see more thunderstorms move into South Mississippi later on tonight. And again, everything will continue to move off towards the northeast at about 35 to 45 miles an hour. Later on tonight, we do expect this line, which is currently broken at the moment, it'll become a squall line, and that'll move through the area after midnight. So this is where the long night time frame comes in. We keep having these little supercells come through the area, so that's why our afternoon threat's happening, but then we still have the parent squall line to come through later on at night. So it's just going to be a long night here across the area. We'll go back now to our regular view. We'll take you back to radar, and we'll get back in tighter on this storm. Again, tornado warning in effect for northern Marion County. This is going to go up until 5:15, and again, this is only for areas north of this is going to be for areas north of Columbia. I want to kind of zoom out and give you the idea of what we're looking at here with the city of Columbia. This is north of Columbia. So otherwise, you're fine. If you are in the actual downtown area of Columbia, the downtown area of Foxworth, you're fine. But it's up here towards Morgantown, towards Goss, Bunker Hill, and Improve. These are the areas we're worried about in Marion County. In Jeff Davis County, Society Hill, Bunker Hill, possibly Melba and Bassfield. Although Melba and Bassfield, as you can see, you got a while with this. You probably got about another 20 minutes before it's going to get to you. But we're still watching things nonetheless very carefully out here in the southeastern part of Mississippi. Now, so we're looking at the areas of rotation. One thing I am liking a little bit is that the rotation does not appear to be as strong as it was earlier. We can put on some of the rotation tracks, and as you can see, it's been kind of weak at times. We're not seeing as strong rotation, and this storm is not exhibiting as strong a rotation as well. So that is a little bit of good news there. But we're still watching this nonetheless because everything continues to move from southwest to northeast, and you still need to be in your safe spot. If you're out towards Morgantown, Goss, Society Hill, or Bunker Hill, you need to be in your safe spot. Let's go ahead and load up that camera. I'm going to pull up that sky cam out in Columbia right now. Currently, it is 79 degrees out there, and one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to step off camera, and that way I can come over here to this computer. Thomas, if you want to go full screen, be my guest, but I'm going to move the sky cam that is currently out in Columbia. I'm going to move it off to look over here towards the north and towards the west. So we're going to look off and kind of see if we can see anything with this thunderstorm. I don't really think we will because it is, again, a good bit away. And there's a lot of trees between here and there. But yeah, you can see the dark clouds associated with this thunderstorm. Again, not seeing anything really well at the moment. But if it was a little bit closer, I'm sure we could see a little bit better going on this evening. But again, the big story is the atmosphere. It responded quite well. It's hard to believe this morning we were in the 40s, now 79 degrees. Very humid outside this afternoon. Dew points are very high. The muggy meter is very high this afternoon, and you don't need me to tell you that. You can just walk outside and figure that one out for yourself. It's a very humid afternoon here across the area, but again, we've been here throughout the day. We're going to be here through tonight. Me and Hannah are here now. We'll stay until the early morning hours. Ryan is going to be coming in and joining us after midnight. It's going to be an all-night event, and we got all hands on deck. And of course, we had Rex in here this morning, so all of us are going to be here throughout the event at some point. But here we are at 4:58. We're still watching that one tornado warned storm off towards the west. And Hannah, are you hearing anything new coming in from the Weather Service in either Jackson or Slidell with this thunderstorm?
Yes, about 4 minutes ago, they reported tornado debris and possible structural damage from the Tilton area.
Okay. So that would be still out towards the west in portions of Lawrence County. Mm-hmm. And to give you an idea of where Tilton is, let's see if it'll pop up on the map. It's out here it's to the south and west of Arm, to out towards the Oakville area. And that's where it currently is. In fact, let's go ahead. I'm going to flip it over to Max 3. There it is. So this is where it was earlier. So to give you an idea, here's where the storm is now. It's getting close to Oakville, Society Hill. Tilton is back here along, I think that's 35. Let's see. I believe that's what that highway is right there. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's Highway 35. It's hard to tell when you don't have the little icons that pop up, but we can tell it right here. 583. That was not even close, but 583. So Tilton is about right here. This is right about where Tilton is. And this is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east a good bit this evening. But we're still here. We're still watching this. And again, let's look at velocity with this. This is something that we use right now. And again, we just got a new sweep in from the radar site. Still with this storm, the one towards the south is starting to weaken a little bit. So a little bit of good news there. Because it was wrapping up pretty tight, but it's starting to weaken a little bit. But we'll go back to the parent storm with this. So the parent rotation, the one that possibly had that brief touchdown out towards Tilton, this is now about to cross State Road 13, and eventually would be coming in towards Carson, Bassfield, at around 5:06 and 5:09. So that would be after the 5 o'clock hour with this first area of rotation. And then if I was to put on a second area of rotation, we just got a new update on that warning. It would be coming into Goss at 4:52, Bunker Hill at 5:01, Melba at 5:19, and 5:23 out towards Higgins. Now, Hannah, I just see that they put out a new update. What are they saying so far?
They are saying for Jeff Davis and Marion till 5:15, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Society Hill, 14 miles north of Columbia, moving east at 35 miles an hour.
Okay, so it appears that they've dropped that tornado on the ground verbiage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's some good news there. But this thing continues to move off towards the north and east. At what speed did you say, Hannah?
35 miles
35 miles an hour. So it's not really slowed down whatsoever. But again, this is something we're watching carefully. If this were to hold together, again, we'll do some drawing of the napkin. We'll just kind of doodle on the napkin, I guess you would say. I'm not doing the math. I'm just kind of drawing with the tools. If it were to continue on this track, I think it will miss Hattiesburg because it would have to take some sort of hard right turn to come back towards Hattiesburg. But if it were to continue, eventually this may get into Ellisville. It may get into Laurel, coming in around the 6 o'clock time frame. So again, dinner time commute. Everybody getting home around dinner time. This could be when the problem occurs. But again, this is we're talking beyond what we're currently watching for at the moment. This is giving you that heads up. Currently, the warning only goes to the edge of Jeff Davis County, and that expires at 5:15. And if this storm does not continue its signs, or if it does not continue showing signs of rotation, they will drop that warning. And right now, I think the cell is kind of struggling a little bit. It appears maybe it may try to cycle at some point later on. I've seen it kind of exhibit these signs earlier on this evening, but it still needs to be watched nonetheless. But this is the only thing that we have in the Pine Belt itself as of right now. We'll turn on the radar and look at all the lightning associated with this thunderstorm. A lot of lightning. This is a very electric thunderstorm, and this is what you would expect with a supercell, or possibly two supercells that are trying to merge into one. A lot of lightning with these two thunderstorms, and I'm very sure the lightning is popping. You're hearing loud thunder out towards the Bassfield community, just to the west of Summerall, as well out there on 42. But it is a loud afternoon out there with a lot of lightning too. And one thing we can always look at too is some of the hail size. Now, I'm not seeing any signs of hail with this thunderstorm as of, oh, there it popped up. There is a little bit of hail, possibly some nickel to quarter size hail being reported with this storm out here towards the Goss community. But again, the tornado is the bigger concern with that right now, but I can't rule out the possibility of some hail with this storm either. But the rotation not as strong as it was, say, about 15 to 25 minutes ago. But it does not mean that this is weakened whatsoever. It's still a force to be reckoned with, and it's still kind of early in the day. It's kind of ominous that I said that. It's early in the day, but it's just going to be a long event, and it could be a long night here across South Mississippi. But here we are. We're still looking at that tornado warning with hail possibly between 1 to 2 inches. So they're saying quarter to maybe golf ball size hail with this thunderstorm. Storm was capable of producing a tornado near Society Hill, or 14 miles north of Columbia, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And I'm looking to see, there's nothing coming out of the Weather Service chat in Slidell. So that's a little bit of good news. Things have kind of quieted down for a little bit. But I am noticing this. So I just noticed this. I'm going to put this back to the home view and I'll be able to show you. All right, so now that we're on the home view, we'll click over here. All right, so the Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center is now monitoring our area for the likelihood of issuing a new tornado watch within the next hour or so. So basically this whole red area, they're watching our area right now, and they'll most likely, I would bank that they're going to issue a tornado watch at some point this evening for this area. So I do expect to see a new tornado watch come out. Don't be surprised if that happens. This is the atmosphere that we are currently setting in here across the area. It has just been a long day and it's going to be a long night. But again, the Storm Prediction Center is now monitoring our area, and they are considering a tornado watch likely that'll be put out within the next hour or so. But we'll continue to monitor things as we go into the next little bit, and everything will continue to move from west to east. And again, this is only the first storm in town that we're watching now. Look at this. We got more off towards the west, and we do expect to see more coverage later on tonight here across the Pine Belt. So this is not something that's going to be a one and done deal. This is going to be a slow grind. This is going to be a grind all evening, all night long. I know Hannah has brought up stuff up here. If we need anything, I've brought stuff up here. We're talking about like food. I mean, this is going to be dinner, late night snack. It's just going to be a long night here, folks, and we're going to continue to monitor things as it moves through. But again, tornado watch currently only in effect for Marion County, not Marion County, for Jeff Davis County, Simpson County, and for Walthall County. And again, that goes until 7 o'clock, but I do expect to see a new tornado watch come out as well pretty soon here across the viewing area. But again, we're still watching this one tornado warned storm, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this one tornadic storm off towards the north of Columbia. Again, you can see it very well, and again, this is why they're talking about the hail. You see all that purple? That right there is where the radar is showing that there is very high return. So basically, the radar is seeing all the energy return back to it at a high level. And that's a good sign that there's hail in that thunderstorm. So beyond the threat of all right, so it looks like they're updating that tornado warned storm because it just popped up on my screen here. So let me see what they're going to do. All right, so it looks like tornado warning and rains in effect for Marion and Jeff Davis County until at 5:15. At 4:56, this fifth thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Society Hill, or 12 miles northwest of Columbia, moving northeast at 40. So they did just kind of put a new update on that, man. And notice with this storm right now, I'm going to kind of back this up. I mean, this storm has that textbook look. We have the hood of the thunderstorm up here. You got the hail core up here. You have the appendage back here. I mean, you got the other storm up here with the appendage kind of stuck in there. But it is something that we're monitoring nonetheless. And this is not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. But again, they're now saying that area of rotation is down here towards Society Hill. So apparently that the apparent area of rotation has kind of weakened a little bit, but it is continuing to move off towards the south and towards the east. So everything continues to move off towards the east. So let's go ahead and put another path cast on this. This will be coming very close to Bunker Hill. I want to make sure I can get Bunker Hill in here. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open up the width of that polygon of the cone, and that way I can get it. There it is. 506 at Bunker Hill, 517 at Bassfield, 523 for Melba, and eventually, you know, if this were to continue, look who's down the line. The city of Sumrall. Again, you're not officially under a tornado warning at this time, but you see where I'm going with this. If this holds together, we could be talking about seeing this extend into northern Lamar County towards Sumrall. This could be coming up towards the 589 community. In fact, let's do this right now. So again, here's the official tornado warning in red. That's what we're looking at the moment. But let's do this. So I'm going to extend this polygon off towards the east. I'm not going to go out as far as I want to go. But as you can see, Sumrall, if it were to hold together, Sumrall, it would be coming up towards you around 5:30, 5:40 over here towards Seminary, 5:45 for the town of Collins as well. And then if you were to continue on with this track, eventually this could come over towards Jones County, which would be well beyond the 6 o'clock time frame. So again, plenty of time to watch this. Again, this warning continues it's 4:59, so it's going to continue for another 15 minutes. And again, the Weather Service is not saying that they are going to stop this warning as of right now. They're going to continue on with it, and this is going to be something that we're going to continue to see as it moves off towards the north and east. But again, it is a rough evening here across the Pine Belt, and if you're tuning in to see WDAM 7 News at 5, well, tonight the news is weather. And you are joined here by Chief Meteorologist Patrick Bigby. Behind me, off the camera, is Meteorologist Hannah Hayes. She is here as well. We're going to be here throughout the rest of the night to keep you safe and informed. And again, this is going to be a long duration severe weather outbreak across the state of Mississippi. We've already seen a couple of reports of tornadoes up in North Mississippi earlier today. But it is 5 o'clock, and you're watching WDAM 7 News on WDAM 7, NBC, ABC, Bounce, and around the world on WDAM7.com. So we're going to continue to monitor things at the moment. So right now, 2.5-inch hail is possible with this storm, as well as the possibility of a tornado. And as you can see, this storm really means business here across the area. It's going to be a long night. I don't see this one being canceled anytime soon, and this is going to be a while before it heads out of here. And again, Bassfield, you got to be in your safe spot now. 5:17, that's the current time of arrival for you. Melba at 5:23, Higgins at 5:27, and should it hold together, it would be getting close to the city of Sumrall by 5:30. Notice, this is the town of Improved. So this is northeastern Marion County right here. I think this is going to go just north of you, but I will say this. If you live in northern Marion County, north of the actual little dot that Improved incorporates on the map, be in your safe spot, because if you have that mailing address, you're still pretty close to the storm. It's not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination, and this is going to continue as it moves off towards the north and towards the east later on for tonight here across the area. But we're still watching things at the moment, and the area of rotation is still there. You can see it out here towards Society Hill. I'm going to zoom in really tight. I want to get in some communities here. All right, so we're talking about street level. So here we are. We're out here towards Society Hill. Here's Bunker Hill. A lot of hills out here, but you get the point. So we're talking about out here towards Bunker Hill Road. Here's State Road 35, that little blue line. Bassfield Cemetery Road, Bass Burkett Road, Candy Lane. Oh, what a fun address that would be here at Christmas time. Buffkin Road, Society Hill Road. You all need to be in your safe spot right now. And eventually, as you can see, here's Bassfield. And look what else is up there. Jeff Davis County High School as well. So we're going to be monitoring this too. Again, this will be coming close to the town of Bassfield. It'll also be coming close to Melba. Beautiful farmland out here. A lot of open area, a lot of fields. I'm sure they're getting ready to be plowed over since growing season is pretty much done. But again, you can see McNeese Road, Williamsburg Road, Broome Road, just to the west of Melba. If I'm calling off your road, you need to get into your safe spot, because this is where that area of rotation is right here, just to the west of 35. And this is going to be moving off towards the northeast. So definitely something to monitor here as we continue on throughout the next couple of hours. We're going to continue to see areas of rotation, and everything will move off towards the north and east this evening. So here's what we're looking at. I'm looking to see if I don't have anything new coming in on my end at the moment. The atmosphere very unstable this afternoon, and to kind of give you an idea of just how unstable the atmosphere is, I'm going to do this. We're going to zoom out a little bit wider. You can see the one storm that we're currently watching. And I'm going to turn on the energy in the atmosphere. So basically, here's the radar on top. Here's that one supercell we're watching. And look at this field of red. This is very unstable air all here across the state of Mississippi and across South Mississippi. So energy, storm energy, the atmosphere, very unstable. This is very unstable air for this time of the year, late November, early December. These would be more numbers we would possibly see in the springtime. So, and in the fall, you don't need big numbers, as big as numbers, I guess you would say, for fall severe weather. So this is going to be kind of a big day here across the area, and things are continuing to move off towards the east at about 35 miles per hour. So everything will continue here throughout the area, and everything will continue here throughout the next couple of hours. So we're still watching everything at the moment. The big storm that we're watching, Bassfield, as you can see out here towards Melba. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to the regular radar. And as you can see, besides the tornado threat, the hail threat is still something we're watching at the moment. You can see a lot of purple up inside this thunderstorm. There's the sign that we got some big hail inside of it. In fact, let's go ahead and flip it over. The areas that we're seeing hail, so how big is the hail? Well, we're seeing areas over here with nickel-sized hail possibly with this thunderstorm. Hail size well over an inch, and it's just a day where we're seeing that large hail currently crossing State Road 35 here across the area. And everything continues to move off towards the north and east. So we got a hail threat with this thunderstorm. We also got the rotational threat with this thunderstorm as well. And this is starting to get a little bit closer out towards the Bassfield area at the moment. So we're talking Society Hill. We're talking Storyman Parkman Road. We're talking Bass Burkett Road. We're I'm hearing the warning tones go off in the Weather Center now, and it looks like we now have a new tornado watch that is going to incorporate much of the Pine Belt for tonight. I have no idea why it always zooms out this far, but let's zoom in a little bit tighter. It makes no sense to me why it does that, but let's get in a little bit tighter here. So here's all the counties. As you can see, basically this is going to be a new tornado watch, and this is going to go until later on tonight. So I'm looking over here at one of my other monitors. As you can see, Marion, Lamar, Forest, Perry, Greene, Wayne, Jasper, Clark, Smith, Covington, Jones counties. This is going to be the new tornado watch, and it is currently going to be in effect until 11 p.m. Central Time tonight. So 11 o'clock is how long this new tornado watch is going to be in effect here throughout the area. So it's going to be another long night here across the area, and things are not done here into the Pine Belt. So that new tornado watch is going to continue at 5:06. We've got a new tornado watch, and things are going to continue here throughout the Pine Belt. But again, the one storm that we're currently watching, it is this one right here. And again, the appendage on this storm, you can see this is starting to it's trying to wrap itself up here across the Pine Belt. Things are you can see it. It's there. It's there because there is the hook with the thunderstorm. If there was a tornado, it's going to be right here. And then again, out towards Bassfield, we got the big hail core, which I think is passing right over you right now. So I would not be surprised if you can safely get some pictures from Bassfield. What you need to do, if you can, is after the storm has passed, send them into 7. You can do it on our WDAM 7 First Alert Weather app. Just open up the app, scroll to the bottom, and then click on that button right there. You can submit your photos to us, and we can share them with everybody else on the air. And you can also do it on the website, WDAM.com, and you can submit your photos there. But I'm going to tell you, at Bassfield, it looks like you're getting rocked with some hail this evening, and we do have a new tornado warning coming out. So this is going to be a new tornado warning currently over here. So let me go ahead and click this until, let's see, I'm looking to see what did they do. All right, so this is going to be a new tornado warning for Covington, Jeff Davis, Lamar, and Marion counties. At 5:07, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Bunker Hill, 12 miles northwest of Columbia, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So this is now going to include the town of Sumrall, and this is going to continue to move on towards the north and east. So basically, there it is. That's the new warning coming out until 6 o'clock. Covington, Jeff Davis, Lamar, Marion. Again, this is going to be northern Lamar County, basically only the Sumrall area and areas along 42 and 44. Basically, this will stay north of Oak Grove. It'll stay north of Bellevue, well north of it. moment. So to give you an idea, here's where Oak Grove is. Bellevue, you're fine. You can see Oak Grove, we're fine here. But here's the area of rotation with this storm. It's getting ready to cross over Highway 35 here across the Pine Belt. And everything will continue to move from west to east here throughout the Pine Belt as we go into the evening. And it's just going to be one of those nights here. So let's go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and flip back over to normal radar. And actually, in fact, I wanted to, sometimes you got to love technology, folks. All right. I wanted to go back to Super Res. I did not want to loop it. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the cleanup. But let's go ahead and put a path cast on this because the area of rotation is down here. And this would be coming into Melba at 517, or Bassfield at 517, Melba at 524, Seminary at 542, Sanford 547, Eminence at 551, Oak Bowery at 555, and getting near Moselle or exit 80 of the interstate at around 6 o'clock. So this storm, it is continuing to move off towards the north and east, but again, it has that telltale sign that I'm currently looking at. The rotation with it is there, not as strong as I've seen other storms today, but it's still there as it's getting close to the town of Bassfield. So if you're near Bassfield at the moment, you need to be in your safe spot because this is getting ready to cross over the highway there, and this is going to be moving into Bassfield within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So what I want to do is get a little bit tighter. So that right there would be Highway 35. The area of rotation right now, currently out here towards Highway 35 and McNeese Road. It'll go just near, it'll kind of go just, about a mile south of Bassfield towards Judge Davis High School. And then eventually this would cross over here towards 32. Hannah, do you have anything new coming out with you so far?
I'm not seeing anything new so far, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay. All right. If you do see anything, let me know. And it appears that we just got something new. So, Hannah, can you read that off to me?
Yes, they continued the tornado warning for Covington, Jefferson Davis, Lamar, and Marion until 6 p.m.
Okay. All right. So that's what we got coming in with that storm right now. And everything is still a fluid situation, folks. I'm looking over here at correlation coefficient, and I want to look at the Weather Service chat. One thing I'm noticing now, they're now saying a confirmed tornado was located near Carson or 15 miles northwest of Columbia, moving northeast at 35. So they're now saying that this is confirmed to be on the ground, and I think they're right. I'm about to show you what we're looking at here. It's a little bit hard to see it here, but if I take it over to max 3, it'll be a much easier way to see it. So here's where the area of rotation is, and as you can see, that stands out very clearly. Here's Bassfield. So Bassfield, you need to be in your safe spot now. We now have a tornado on the ground just to the south of the city of Bassfield, and this thing continues to move rapidly off towards the north and east. And yes, look at that. The rotation is beginning to max out the radar a little bit, so this thing is really tightening up here within the last 5 to 10 minutes. So basically, Bassfield, Melba, you need to be in your safe spot right now. This is a tornado again on the ground. So we now have a tornado on the ground with this thunderstorm, and this is quickly moving off towards the north and east at 35 miles an hour. So seek shelter now if you're in Bassfield, out towards Graves Key Road, out here towards Melba, Gates Road as well. You need to be in that safe spot. We're seeing some very tight rotation with this storm coming up very close to the city of Bassfield. So we're monitoring this storm, but again, now the Weather Service is saying a confirmed tornado on the ground near Carson or 15 miles north of Columbia, and this is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east here. So get into your safe spot right now. And this is going to be a dangerous situation for those of you out into southern Bassfield or southern Jeff Davis County this evening. So need to be in that safe spot right now. Again, a very tight rotation with the storm, and it is coming in right now to the city of Bassfield. And the way the new data is starting to come in now, you notice the area of rotation is starting to pull up a little bit towards the north. north, but it is still right within the area of Bassfield. You got to get into your safe spot now. We're talking that interior most room, away from windows, away from doors. Have a helmet on. You're going to need that. You got to be in your safe spot right now if you're out towards Bassfield. Again, a confirmed tornado is being reported on the ground. That's according to the National Weather Service in Bassfield. So get to your safe spot now. So it looks like the rotation right now is about to cross 35. It's about to do so probably about half a mile south of the four-way intersection there. I know there's a Dollar General there, and then you come and you turn right on 42, and then you'll see the high school, which sits right here. There's a couple of little convenience stores there, but that's really about it in Bassfield. But the high school and the Dollar General, if you know where those places are, you need to be in your safe spot, because this is a very dangerous situation. I know there's a tractor supply company, not the business, but there's a tractor implement store, I believe, just to the west of Bassfield too. So I'm listing off some of these areas. If you know where they are, you got to get into your safe spot now. Williamsburg Road, Gates Road, again out here towards Ridgeland Road. The Longleaf Trace parallels 42. I would not recommend being on the trace. Obviously, it's probably pouring down rain. There's a ton of lightning, but you also got the tornado. This is not the night to do that. 42, basically right now, west of Summerall. You got to be in your safe spot now, because we are still getting reports of a confirmed tornado on the ground with this thunderstorm as this thing continues to move off towards the north and east. And not only are we talking about the area of rotation with this storm, but we're also talking about a lot of heavy rain falling with this thunderstorm as well. Here's the thunderstorm. This right here is the area of rotation. This is where the debris ball would be. So anywhere in this area, you got to be in your safe spot now, because this is ramping up and moving off towards the north and east. So a very dangerous setup right now across the city of Bassfield here in southern Jeff Davis County. And I want to pull out just a little bit. This is going to go north of Bunker Hill. So basically, if you're in Marion County now, you're in the clear, because the area of rotation now is wholly in Jeff Davis County. But it is getting ready to cross 42. It's going to cross 42 between Bassfield and between Melba, and then continue into Jeff Davis County. And again, what's down the line eventually Seminary and Sanford, and even out towards Oak Bowery. So we'll have to watch this one carefully. And again, everything continuing to move off from west to east here at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, and it is this is not something to mess around with. We have a confirmed tornado reported on the ground with this storm near the Bassfield community as everything kind of races off towards the east at 35. Now, Hannah, you're looking at some other things. Are you noticing anything on your end at the moment?
Not at the moment, Patrick. I'm just looking at kind of the same things you are, just trying to confirm exactly where this is, but you got it pretty good. I'm looking at National Weather Service chat, though, and they're not issuing anything else with this so far.
Okay, so we're still watching for that area of rotation currently near the Bassfield community, and again, it is sitting right there. That is the area that we are watching. And again, with the debris detection, it's going to be one of those nights, folks. If I'm already stumbling over the word debris, it's going to be one of those nights. We're still noticing a little bit of debris with that. I'm not seeing it as much as I was, say, 5 or 10 minutes ago. It's not as easy as a sign to see earlier, but definitely it had some rotation with it, and it may have briefly touched down. In fact, let me go ahead and show you this. Let me come back over here to Max on my computer, and we're going to take you over to Max 3 here. So I want to show you this. This right here is what I'm looking at. So look over here. I'm going to back this up a few frames. Watch. All right, so we got that tornado warning that is in effect right now. So that's what we are watching still, that tornado warning out here towards the Bassfield community. Bunker Hill, you got to be in that safe spot now. We're still watching that at the moment, and everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. But one thing that I wanted to show you before my phone went off, telling me for the 17th time that there's a tornado warning nearby, I wanted to show you this. The area that we may have had a brief touch touchdown. So let me back this up here just a few frames. So I'm backing this up here to right around 5 o'clock, and it appears there was a brief touchdown. Watch this right here. Notice how it just kind of moves northeast. That's the debris signature that the Weather Service was seeing. It appears now that the debris signature has lifted, at least momentarily, because it's still hard to find. And this is some very heavily wooded areas out here. So imagine if it was still on the ground, we would still see that debris signature, but apparently it may be lifting just a little bit. But I mean, if you look at it, here's where the area of rotation should be. That is where the tightest area of rotation is. And we'll flip back over to shear, and yeah, it's sitting right about here. So you definitely need to be in that safe spot still if you're out here towards Bassfield. You can still see with this thunderstorm, here's the hail part of it with the hood of the thunderstorm wrapping back up here into the hook. And this is where the tornado would be. The hail is up here, but the hook is right here. And again, this is moving off towards the north and east. The way it's moving right now, it reminds me of kind of how that Easter tornado went. Not saying that this is anywhere on that scale, but it is taking somewhat that similar track, coming out from Society Hill, going through Bassfield, and eventually still moving northeast. And on that track, Seminary would be the next town in line with this thunderstorm. Basically, and it's, by the way, Seminary, you are under the tornado warning with this thunderstorm, and is moving off towards the north and east. Now, the hail part of it will be getting close to Williamsburg, but I'm going to tell you the tornadic part could be getting up towards Seminary here not too long for now. So this is something that we're going to have to watch very carefully. I'm going to put this back into super res mode, and I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit. All right, so we're still looking at it from the Weather Service in Jackson, their radar site. Let's put a path cast on this. So this is where the area of rotation currently is. If it were to continue on this track, Seminary, 544. So that would be here. It's 520 now. That would be here in about, what, 15, 20 minutes or so. So about 20, 25 minutes. So it's going to be, it's not that far away. Basically, Seminary, you get a little bit of time, but you don't have that much time left over. But now the area of rotation is now crossing 42 between Bassfield and Melba, and I noticed they just updated things. So Hannah, do you have the latest information coming in with the warning on your end?
Let me look real quick.
Okay, she's got a lot on her screen as well. We both do. So you just
yeah. So there was a confirmed tornado located near Melba, 12 miles southwest of Collins, and it's moving east at 35 miles an hour. It does not say it's on the ground. It says it's observed. Okay, so they're saying an observed tornado. Yes. So they're still calling it a confirmed. So we still need to treat it as a tornado that is on the ground as this thing moves up towards the north and east. So TMP, y'all can come back over here to me. Hannah, if you see anything, you just let us know. But the area of rotation that we're watching continues to move up towards the north and east. So here's where it would be. I mean, this is textbook meteorology 101. Would you agree, Hannah? I would agree, yeah. This is, if there is a supercell that would be in a textbook, this would probably be one, because you can see the inflow from the north, you got the inflow from the south, you got the rotation back here, you got the downdraft from the parent thunderstorm, you got the updraft coming in from Melba. This is the textbook, and this is kind of a night where you would notice things. And I'll tell you, if this thing is producing a tornado, you would probably be able to see it from Melba. I'm not saying you should go look, because I'm just not. That's dangerous. But the way this cell is it does not appear that it would be rain wrapped. So you would possibly see it coming. That's what I'm trying to say. This would not possibly be a rain wrapped tornado. But I will say, with it being 522. I think it's completely dark outside now. It's basically, it might as well be, because it's going to be hard to see if you're not seeing the lightning from this thunderstorm. But again, areas that are continuing to be in the path of this thunderstorm basically would be Seminary and Oak Bowery and Eminence. Now, one bit of good news: Lamar County has been removed from this tornado warning. So the city itself, the city of Summerall itself, is sitting here
is sitting here at Summerall, and this is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east at about 35 miles an hour. 544 at Seminary, Eminence at 552, Oak Bowery at 556. And should this hold together, we could be talking about this maybe coming into Laurel after 6 o'clock. But again, that's a long way from now. It would probably be about 6 or 6:30. In fact, you know what? I'm a little curious. Let's just do that. About 6:25. That would be around the current time that we would be noticing it come into our area around 6:20. Come into the city of Laurel around 6:25. So again, that has to hold together. But we're kind of giving you that heads up. Should this hold together, 6:25, and that would be in the city of Laurel just before 6:30. So about an hour from now, actually being exactly an hour from now, if this holds together, we could be talking about it coming into Laurel and Ellisville as well. 6:15, by the way, if this holds together in Ellisville. Now, for the rest of the Pine Belt, I want to take a quick look. I want to show you everything else that's going on here. So there is the tornado watch that is currently in effect. That it goes until 11 o'clock, and we'll turn that off. But notice, this is the only thing worth watching is this one supercell at the moment. We have other cells that are getting their act together up here around the Jackson metro area, just to the south of Vicksburg. And they do have a couple of tornado warnings over here in northeastern Louisiana and the counties of Mississippi over here just around Vicksburg, just south of I-20. That would be moving towards the Jackson area. And then if we were to take an even wider look across the state of Mississippi, it's still a very active night. Okay, so they just dropped that tornado warning. We got another one just to the north and east over here towards, over here. Just to the east, the northeast of Yazoo City. But look up here towards the Golden Triangle. They're still seeing activity up there. In fact, they do have a confirmed tornado with this storm, which would be coming in towards Starkville, up here towards Mississippi State. So we got a lot of probably worried parents this evening with this one. They're saying a confirmed tornado with this one. Still all along Highway 82. Hannah, you probably know pretty well this area up here. Of course, you going to Mississippi State. But as I look at it right now, that is going to be a tornado warning for Choctaw County, Clay County, Tibaha, and Webster until 6:15. A confirmed tornado was located over Sherwood or moving northeast, or about 20 miles southwest of Mount Pillier, moving east at 40. So that would go pretty close to the town of Starkville. So if you got any college students up at Starkville at Mississippi State, you need to let them know. Obviously, Columbus also has the University of Mississippi for Women is located out in Columbus too. So if you get any students out there, you should let them know there too. But we're still watching things back here. I wanted to just kind of give you that heads up because we are watching stuff up in North Mississippi too. That would be coming close to the city of Starkville, and again, that's where Mississippi State is. A confirmed low tornado on the west side, probably about 20 miles west of the campus of Mississippi State. But we got our own things that we're worried about down here. We're still watching this one thunderstorm over here into Jeff Davis County, and now it's moving, getting close into Covington County. So, I talked about it earlier. It is kind of taking that same track. It's kind of eerie. It's almost identically the same track as the April 2020 Easter Sunday tornado. Obviously, we're not looking at anything near the spectrum of that. This is nothing compared to that aspect of the tornado. But still, this is a tornado warned storm, and you shouldn't compare them back to back. But it is interesting to notice the track, almost similarities. But this will be coming into Bassfield. It's leaving Bassfield. It'll be coming into Seminary pretty soon. So Seminary, you need to be getting ready to get into your safe spot. It'll be crossing over the Bowie River here in probably about 5 to 10 minutes. I wanted to get a little bit tighter. I wanted to pop up some roads here. So I'm going to have to get a little bit even further tighter. And what I'm going to do so everybody won't have is I'm going to turn off the flashing warning. That way we're not having any problems with that, because I'm going to tell you that's even a lot for me. So, all right. So we're talking about areas over here in Graves Key Road, Williamsburg Road, Seminary Mike Connor Road, Seminary Summerall Road, 589. This is all areas that are in the path of this in this storm, and eventually this would be coming up towards Seminary too if it held together. And you know what a couple of roads up there, Cold Springs Road. I know that area well. We walked through there after that April 2020 tornado. Cold Spring Road got hit hard, and once again, you're under the gun. Napier Oil Road, Crossroads Church Road, Summerall Road, Santee Methodist Road, Seminary Mike Connor, Hughes Road, Old 49 over here towards Seminary. You all need to be in your safe spot right now because this is a tornado-warned storm. We are still watching that area of rotation. I will say, though, over the last 20 minutes or so, that area of rotation is not as strong as it was earlier. The thunderstorm may be maybe becoming a little bit more outflow dominant, which means there was way more air coming out of the thunderstorm, out of the exhaust pipe of the thunderstorm than there is coming in, which kind of disrupts the balance. And that can weaken a storm briefly, is partly what causes some of the cycling that we see with some of these thunderstorms. But I definitely would not say that this storm is over by any stretch of the imagination. Again, this is getting ready to cross into Covington County right now. So Cold Springs Road, Seminary Mike Connor Road, Mount Horeb Road, McDonald Chapel Road. Y'all need to be in your safe spot. Again, the city of Seminary, you need to be in your safe spot now. These are all areas that are under the gun once again, and we're still watching this area of rotation. And Hannah is drawing out a pathcast on this. So Hannah, what time will this be arriving for some of our viewers who may be living out towards Seminary?
Yeah, so for Seminary, we're looking right now about 5:41 p.m., which is only about 20 minutes from now. So if you're in Seminary, definitely need to go ahead and get in that safe spot just to be safe, especially considering right now it's headed right towards Seminary in that area. And of course, forgive me, I'm probably about to say this wrong, but imminence. You guys are expecting this around 5:48 as it's heading right near your direction. So as we're taking a look at this, I noticed a second ago that there is still debris it's kind of floating right down back here still, but there was debris with this. So it's definitely, I think it was still on the ground at least a few minutes ago. So just treat it like it is. Treat it like it's on the ground still. We haven't got an update saying it's not, so that's exactly how we're going to treat it as it's headed. Let me put up the storm track back up once again, make it a little bit wider. Okay, so about 5:40 for Seminary. Again, that's only in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes for Seminary right now is where it's looking. So definitely go ahead and get in that safe spot. If you know anybody in Seminary, please alert them that this is kind of headed right towards Seminary right now. At 5:47 Eminence and 5:51 Oak Bowery. That's where it's looking right now. Of course, if it changes direction, we will keep you updated. But right now, it's still headed east. And so it's headed right towards Seminary, Eminence, and Oak Bowery at this time. Patrick, are you seeing anything new with this?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing anything new with it as of now.
Yeah.
We're still watching that area of rotation, but again, it's not as strong as it was, I would say, 20 minutes ago. It's still a rotating thunderstorm. By no means is this thing just stopped. But as you can see earlier, when this was coming out of Walthall County into Marion County, it was pretty strong. And now, so this is where its last strong area of rotation was, but now the area of rotation is up here. So we're seeing kind of a loss of some of the signature with this, but by no means is this done by any stretch of the imagination. This is still ongoing. This is still a scenario that we're going to have to watch for the next little bit. A lot of lightning with this thunderstorm tonight. A lot of lightning with this storm. In fact, Thomas or Damien, who's in TMP, go ahead and take the graphics full right now. Just take max 1 full. I'm gonna pull up our Skycam out at Jones College, but I need to walk away from my little pedestal here so I can spin the camera around. So I'm gonna click Ellisville. We're gonna load up that camera at Jones College, and again, I'm going to spin this off towards the west. So it's currently looking north, but we're going to spin this off towards the west, and we're seeing a lot of lightning. In fact, I just saw a little lightning flash with it there. In fact, here's a look at the storm. We're looking off towards the west. A ton of lightning with this. Almost continuous lightning currently with this thunderstorm off towards the west. A little grainy. It is dark, but you can see the lightning continuing to flash. and it appears they're continuing to update that thunderstorm. They're continuing the tornado warning. It now looks like they've trimmed out Jeff Davis County, so this is now a Covington County scenario. This is only for Covington County now, but they are still saying that this is an observed tornado. Is that right, Hannah? Is that what you're reading at?
Yes, that's what I'm reading right now.
Hannah is nodding yes at me, and I actually just heard it in my ear too. But that's what they're saying. It's still they're still saying it's reported on the ground. I need to look over here in chat. Looks like the TDS dissipated currently. However, it's likely a brief touchdown as cycling is underway. I anticipate more tornadoes possible with this one shortly. So because this storm is cycling, they don't want to let it go, and it's for good reason. This is how sometimes supercells work. And when we talk about cycling, we're not saying that they're on a bicycle. We're talking about the life cycle of this storm. It'll produce, it'll weaken, it'll regain, it'll regroup, produce, weaken, and then regroup. So we're kind of in that phase. So I think we're kind of in that regrouping phase. So apparently it has lifted up, but it is regrouping itself, because we still got a pretty decent hail core over here towards Williamsburg, towards Collins. We're seeing very high returns on the radar. We're seeing actually some purple up in those areas there. But the area of rotation is still to the south. And again, this is how supercells work. It's not up here where the purple is, where the worst part of the storm. It's this appendage, this thing that is just hanging down towards the south, towards Williamsburg Road, Mike Connor Road, Seminary Mike Connor Road, and this will be coming into Seminary very soon. So Seminary, you got to be in your safe spot right now with this thunderstorm, because it's only about 9 minutes away. At 5:43, it'll make it to the town of Seminary itself. So you need to be in your safe spot. And by the way, a lot of people out here are Seminary addresses, but they don't live in the town of Seminary. So still, get into that safe spot right now with this thunderstorm. So we're still watching this nonetheless. And again, a lot of lightning with this storm. I'm looking over here at our sky cam out in Ellisville. I want to pull that back up, because look at all the lightning that we are currently seeing with this thunderstorm. It is just nearly continuous flashes. So this is a very electric thunderstorm. Winds right now out of the south at 10, gusting to 17 miles an hour. Currently 75 degrees, and I'm going to tell you, 75 degrees on a night on the end of November. It's pretty remarkable. At 5 o'clock in the evening, we're sitting at 75. Dew point is into the 70s. This is some very juicy atmosphere that we got currently across the area, and this is setting up the stage for a long night here across the Pine Belt. But that's what we're seeing right now. A live look out there from Jones College in Ellisville. Again, a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm this evening. Thomas, if you want to, you can go ahead and bring that back out towards the monitor view as well. That way, yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. We'll go back over here towards radar. I'm going to clean that up just a little bit and then turn off the buttons here. But still, Seminary, you got to be in your safe spot now. This will be coming up to you very soon. And the area of danger is, again, just to the south of the parent hail core with it, which is going through Collins at the moment. At 5, so this will be coming into Seminary around 5:44. Oak Bowery at 5:57, and Hebron at 6:05 should this hold together. 6:10, that would be getting close to some of the Ellisville exits on the interstate. I think exit 85 is the exit to get on to Ellisville State School. I think 87 is the Ellisville exit itself. So you get the point. Should this hold together, we could be talking about 6:15 getting around to Jones College. But again, that's should it hold together. We still got a lot going on between now and then, and things can change. And this supercell, again, it is showing signs that it is kind of cycling out. Because earlier we had that very nice hook it was like this, but now you can notice that hook, that piece is starting to get kind of sucked back into the thunderstorm. So we're losing a part of it, but again, I think it's recycling. There's really nothing that would prevent it from, there's not really much hampering it at the moment, other than the fact that it's just cycling out. I'm noticing a little bit of weak rotation with this new cell that's trying to develop out here towards Jeff Davis County. Again, this is weak rotation. I would not warn on that at the moment, and that's what the Weather Service is doing.
Okay.
But it is something that we're going to notice over the next little bit here across the area. So that, again, would be along near Carson and moving off towards the north and east, kind of following that storm. Hannah, anything new coming in with your end?
Yeah, so we just got an update, actually, from Pearl River Valley. There's 500 people without power just south of Bassfield. So that's the latest update that we have gotten.
Okay, so you're saying 500 people without power in Bassfield?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
South of Bassfield.
South of Bassfield. And that makes sense because that's where the storm was earlier on when it came in across the area. It was just south of Bassfield. And yeah, there's the tracks with it that it left, moving up towards the north and towards the east here. But again, it's not as intense as it was, say, 10 minutes ago, because the area of rotation now kind of between Collins and Seminary. So we're out here it's right on top of Cold Springs Road right now. Again, I'm not seeing any signs that this is on the ground at the moment. A little bit of good news there. Right, here's Seminary to Williamsburg Road. Here's Cold Springs Road, McDonald Chapel, Craft Road. Here's where the radar is showing the rotation. Here is where the rotation is. And notice we didn't see any dropouts with the debris detection. We didn't see any other color besides maroon. Maroon means you're seeing the rain. If you see any other color, that would be signs of either noise or rotation or debris. And because there was nothing in this area where there's rotating, it means it is if there is a funnel with this, it's not on the ground. But the Weather Service is still saying possible tornado with this storm, and it appears now that they have downgraded it back to a normal tornado warning. So looks like we're getting that information in. Hannah, do you have it pulled up? So
yes.
What are they saying right now?
They've continued the tornado warning for Covington, Mississippi till 6, and it's radar indicated, but a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Collins, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour.
Okay, so basically kind of what we're seeing right now, and again behind you is where would the rotation be at right there with your map, Hannah?
Yeah, let me
go ahead and show the viewers since we're on you.
So right now, this is kind of what we're looking at, this tight area between the green and the red right here. This is kind of where we're looking at. I've made it a little bit bigger of a circle just so you can see kind of the areas around it. But this specific area is where we're looking at the rotation on the radar. This is kind of where that tornado is that they're picking up on. So it's right near Lake Mike Connor Road and North Williamsburg Road, as well as Seminary Mike Connor Road. About to cross Highway 49 into just south of Collins right now is where that rotation is, and it is headed northeast. I believe they said it 30 miles an hour. Yes, 30 miles an hour. So that's what we're looking at kind of right now. This is the latest update that we have. Let me make this a little bit smaller just to make it a little easier to see exactly where that rotation is, since I've pointed out the general area. Let me do it right here. So it's this area right here. Again, it's about to be crossing Highway 49 just south of Collins. And this is moving northeast at 30 miles an hour right now. So I'm going to try and pull up a storm track for it. I got to change a few things first. But let me see. So again, this is moving 30 miles an hour just south of Collins right now. And it looks like 550 for Cola and 559 for Mitchell Farms is what it's pulling up on right now, Patrick. Is that what you're seeing too?
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm seeing too.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually this will be coming into Mitchell Farms. Everybody knows where Mitchell Farms is. Of course, They just had their fall kind of spectacular with the pumpkins, and everybody gets to go out there with the corn maze and all. But tonight would not be the night for that, let me tell you. But there it is, the area of rotation now, crossing 49. Just to the south of Collins, kind of between Seminary and Collins. And again, that would be coming out towards Mitchell Farms. And again, it's sitting right now on top of Cold Springs Road, and it's about to cross over. And this is going just to the north of a seminary, and it'll be moving to the northeast. And eventually, if this holds together, could be coming out towards Jones County. But again, I'm not seeing any signs in the Weather Service chat room that they are going to do that as of right now. But
I'm not either.
I would not be surprised if they did something like that, just on the nature of the storm. But the fact that they went ahead and downgraded it just back to a normal tornado warning is a little bit of a good sign. But it's just central Covington County that currently has the tornado warning. So we're talking between areas between Collins and Seminary at the moment. Right now, it's sitting, the area of rotation sitting right here. It's on 49, and it is going to be very closely moving up towards the north and east. And that would be heading over towards areas around Hebron, out towards Mitchell Farms, as we were just talking about, and out towards Oak Bowery. And eventually, if it were to hold together, would move into Jones County right around the top of the hour. Still about 18 minutes until that were to happen. And the Weather Service eventually will have to make a decision if they do decide to continue this tornado warning, yes or no, into Jones County. As it stands right now, this will, by a long, obviously this is going to miss Hattiesburg, but as it stands now, I think it will also miss Moselle, and I think if it were to continue on this course, it would definitely miss Ellisville. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and put a new pathcast out with this storm. Come on, work with me.
Huh?
There you go.
Email?
Okay. So if it were to continue on this track, notice who is in the line. So out here towards Calhoun and Laurel. And as you can see, if it were to hold together, 615 for So-So, 617 for around the Calhoun area, and 625 for the city of Laurel. And then it would make it to the east side at around 630, 640 later on this evening. So again, we're doing some back of the napkin doodling, as I like to call it. We're just drawing this out way further than the warning is, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea. Should this hold together, or should this recycle? When would it come into some of the more populated areas of the viewing area? Again, Laurel would be in the path of this. Should this hold together? Again, you're not under a warning at the moment, but I wanted to give you that heads up that if this decides to recycle, or they decide to continue this, within about 45 minutes, we may be talking about you. But everywhere else is very quiet right now. And in fact, we'll do this. We'll just kind of reset. We'll look at everything that's going on, and here is the radar. So Southern Pine Electric Radar showing that one thunderstorm moving through. And I mean, look at all the lightning with this thunderstorm. It is crazy how much lightning we are seeing here with this thunderstorm. And in fact, I'm going to turn it off just so you can see what's going on. The hail core does not seem as bright as it was earlier. Again, it is also moving over Collins too. But I would not be surprised to see maybe a stripe of hail basically from Bassfield up to Collins falling, at least some small hail at that. But the area of rotation with it has been always is on the south side of the storm, and that's where the tornado warning is. Outside of this one storm, we're not seeing anything new. We are seeing a little bit of development here with some new showers out here towards Jeff Davis County, out towards Carson. But outside of this is it. This is the only name in the game. And Michael, you have some information to hand in, and I'm going to walk over here. All right, so So I'm getting this in from Lawrence County, the director, Tony Norwood. Damage is near, so this is out in Lawrence County. Gibbons, Mullins Road, and Tilton Road happened in the 200 to 300 block of Tilton Road. Damage being reported to two properties. Would be a deck and a roof of a house, a barn destroyed, and tree on a house in a small shed. Volunteers, fire departments are on the scene now. They're trying to tarp the properties. Unconfirmed tornado report. It jumped the Pearl River into Jeff Davis County, where it did some possible structural damage near Bassfield. We're checking with the Jeff Davis EMA on that as well. So that's the latest coming in. Thank you so much, Michael, for giving me that. But that's the latest that we have coming in. So again, reports of damage to two properties out in Tilton. Again, Tilton outside of our viewing area in Lawrence County, but when it moved into Jeff Davis County, it possibly did a little bit of damage out towards the Bassfield area. But we are still working to check in with the Jeff Davis EMA. Obviously, they're very busy right now. They're not in their office. They're in their car. They're doing their job on a night like this. So, I mean, it's probably harder to get them sometimes, but we are working to get some information coming out of Bassville. But I do thank Michael Clark for handing me that. We are still watching things this evening here across the area. And as we take a wider look across the state of Mississippi, one thing you notice, it's just an active night. We got plenty of warnings across the state. And basically, we have this broken line. And these two lines are going to merge together tonight. And we're going to see these thunderstorms move south into our area as a squall line. And that's going to be the second round of this during the overnight hours tonight is the squall line. As it moves through the area, it's just going to be an active night here across the Pine Belt, with the threat continuing now basically at about 2 to 3 o'clock in the central part of the Pine Belt and 5 a.m. for our easternmost counties. So that would be Wayne, Greene County, down towards Perry County as well. So it's going to be a long night. We got plenty of coffee, plenty of everything here across the area this evening. But we're still watching it. But again, the reason you're still watching me instead of World News Tonight or Lester Holt tonight on NBC News is because we're still watching that one tornado one storm in Jeff Davis County. And again, that is the thing that we're still not Jeff Davis County, Covington County. It's moved out of Jeff Davis County now. It was over Jeff Davis earlier, but now it is sitting here right now on top of the kind of between Collins and Seminary. It's getting close to the 588 area. So once again, as I always do, let me clean this up a little bit so we can see what is going on, because sometimes all of that makes it really hard to look at. And one thing to notice, all right, so they're updating it, they're continuing it just as a normal tornado warning. Hannah, when you get it pulled up on your end, Hannah, what are you seeing new? What are they saying with this?
They're just saying it's till 6 p.m. It's a severe thunderstorm still capable of producing a tornado located near Collins. It's moving northeast still at 30 miles an hour. So again, like you said, it's not on the ground, but they're just updating that, continuing it until 6 p.m. for Covington, Mississippi.
All right, so basically now this is going to be kind of the best way to put it, it's about to cross 588. So here's 588. Here's Oak Bowery. Here's Collins. Let me step out of the way. So here's Collins, 588, Oak Bowery. It's about to cross 588 right between both of these near Willow Grove Church Road. And then this will be jumping over, and as it continues to move northeast, it'll probably go just south of Mitchell Farms, but it's going to be a close call. It's going to be a close call, but it will go just to the south of them. But the area of rotation still, if it holds together, would be getting close out here towards Hebron at the top of the hour. Hebron, of course, is in Jones County, so the Weather Service has 10 more minutes before they have to make a decision on Jones County. And I'm looking to see, we just got a report in from the emergency manager of Dime Size Hail reported in Covington County. Looks like we got a new warning coming in, Hannah. Do you have any information on that?
Yep, they extended that into Jones County until 6:45 p.m.
Okay, so a new tornado warning until 6:45. So,
yes.
All right, so this is going to be coming into Jones County at the moment. Let's see, let's go ahead and get my radar pulled back up a little bit. Whenever you're ready, Hannah, you can show what you were going to show, because I saw you drawing.
Oh, no, that was an accident.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Well, I don't want to take away from it. If you had something you wanted to show, definitely show it to us. But here, let's go ahead and get you the gist of it. So, guess who is in the track of this storm? It is, guess what? Laurel. Guess who else is in it? So Calhoun. All the communities that I called out about 20 minutes ago, you are now in the path of this storm. And here we are. So that first alert, giving you that heads up. So here we go. 6:05 at Hebron, Mount Zion at 6:13, Soso at 6:16, Calhoun at 6:18, and then it comes into the city of Laurel at 6:25. Exit 93 is the Laurel Airport exit. Hoy at 6:28, and it would be near Powers at 6:32. And possibly at around 6:36 coming into the Sharon community. Sharon is your kind of hidden by the banner here. In fact, I actually need to pull it out just a little bit further because we also got a couple other counties. We got a couple other areas. So Sharon, it'll be coming up towards you at around 6:35. Sandersville at 6:40. And Pineview at 6:46. I think Pineview is out towards Wayne County. But again, the city of Laurel, you need to be in your safe spot now. This is not something to mess around with. This is a tornado warned storm, and there it is. Here it is, lighted up for you, showing you where it's going to be coming into the viewing area. And I want to back it up a little bit because I just want to get some of those get a few of those communities that we were looking at earlier to just kind of stay popped up here. As well. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So Hebron 606, Soso 617, the Laurel Airport around 622, Laurel right around 636, and then coming into Hoy at 639. Also, don't forget Calhoun sitting right here. And also, this is Mustang country. So Mount Zion, if you live near the high school, not the high school, the elementary school, West Jones Elementary, basically take the Mount Zion time. There it is, 6:14. If you live near the elementary school, 6:14. If you live out here towards the high school, go ahead and make it around 6:20 because that's around the time of arrival. So basically, you need to get in your safe spot now in northern Jones County. This will go north of the actual city of Ellisville, but a lot of you have that Ellisville address. A lot of you have that Laurel address who don't live in the actual the dot on the map. You know what I'm trying to say. The actual center of town. You live in the more outlying area, so you need to go ahead and get into your safe spot. Now, with this storm just off towards the west of our camera, I'm going to go ahead and load back up the sky cam. And Thomas, if you will, just go ahead and take us full. Thomas or Damien, whoever, whichever y'all's call. There we go. So there's a live look. That right there is Jones College in Ellisville. Currently 73 degrees out there. Winds are out of the south at 11, gusting to 18 miles per hour at the moment. And what I'm going to do now is flip back over to our sky cam in Laurel. Now, currently the one in Laurel is overlooking Highway 15, so we're kind of looking more off towards the south. We got a few little lightning strikes out in that area. We also got some water on the lens too. So we're looking kind of towards the south. Let's flip this off towards the south and west. And by the way, this camera location is under that tornado warning. So basically, the city of Laurel, you need to be in your safe spot. I'm sure the sirens are sounding into the city as of now, and we're looking off towards the west with this thunderstorm. We're seeing a lot of lightning. Now, it is far enough away that even if this was producing, we would not see it. But this gives you an idea, a very electric storm at the moment right now. All right, so Mallory has our MDOT camera loaded up in Collins. Let's go ahead and take that. TMP, go ahead and take that. Okay, so just let me know in my ear when y'all are ready to take that camera. But we do have the camera in Collins in order to show you that. But look at all the lightning with this thunderstorm. 75 degrees right now in Collins. Winds are very gusty. This is in Laurel, by the way. Winds out of the south at 14, gusting to 22 miles per hour. It is a very kind of fierce evening, and you can even see some of the clouds moving at that location. But again, tornado warning in effect for Jones County until 6:45 with this thunderstorm. Heavy rain falling now. That right there is the intersection of 49 and 84. So this is where the heaviest part of the thunderstorm just passed over. And as you can see, the rain is still falling. You got some puddles there on the roadway, but everything appears to be okay in Collins. Let's hope that we can keep it that way this night. But it is setting up to be an action-packed evening here across the Pine Belt. So we'll go ahead and go back to Max 1 now. And that right there is a look at that sky cam. What I'm going to do now is go back to the normal radar, and then that way you can see what's going on. I'm going to turn back on super res, and then I'm going to clean it up. That way it's a good image, and you can get a good idea of what's going on. So here's what we're looking at, 2 parts. So part 1 is this right here. That is Hebron. Hebron has the hail core of this thunderstorm sitting on top of you. So it's probably hailing right now in Hebron. But the area of rotation is still back here towards Oak Bowery. And this is where the area of rotation with this thunderstorm is out here. So very heavy rain, possibly some quarter-size hail, possibly falling around along 84 near the Hebron community. and that'll be moving northeast towards Soso. So Soso, you're going to see some heavy rain, a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm as well. And again, we are still watching the area of rotation with it at the moment. But this is going to go very close to Laurel. But I think if we were to kind of look at this, unless it wobbles something, it may just go just to the north side towards Shady Grove, Calhoun, out towards Ellisville. You're fine, but it would go out towards Shady Grove, Sharon, and Sandersville if it holds up on this course. But again, as you can see, it's still sitting there at the moment. Currently, Laurel, you're just seeing some light rain here across the area. The parent area of rotation still way off towards the west. And as I flip over to velocity at the moment, you can see that rotation starting to cycle back up once again. So here we are seeing that area of rotation cycling up. And again, that tornado warning in effect until 6:45. Hannah, are you seeing anything new on your side so far?
I am not seeing anything new so far, but I'm keeping an eye on the National Weather Service chat, of course, and I'm looking at the radar. I'm just not seeing anything new, but like you said, it is cycling back up. That is one thing that I have noticed as well as I've been looking over here. It's started to just kind of, I don't know, it's just cycling back up just a little bit. Not a whole lot just yet, but like you said, people need to kind of keep an eye on this as they're, I noticed a lot of people driving home from Laurel on that Skycam. That's y'all need to get home as soon as you can for sure. I know that this isn't technically on the ground. I'm not even seeing a debris signature with this one specifically, but I am seeing that rotation cycle back up, as Patrick said. And of course, this is right here, just southwest of Hebron right now is where it's located on the radar.
All right. So, Hannah, if you see anything, just let us know. This
Not
evening.
seeing anything just yet, but I will let you know.
Okay. All right. So this is getting ready to cross from Covington County into Jones County. It's right at 84 at Hebron. Here is that blue squiggly line, by the way. That is the Leaf River. So this is getting ready to cross the Leaf River near 84. It'll then come into the west side of Jones County and then continue to move off towards the north and towards the west. Let's go ahead and I want to see how this rotation has been moving. And you notice it's still kind of moving from southwest to northeast. And on that track, it's going to be very close to the city of Laurel, but I really think this is going to take more of a north side approach, if anything, to the city. So we're talking Hebron about 6:05, which is basically about right now, 6:16 in Soso, 6:20 in Calhoun, 6:26 in Shady Grove, and Hoy at around 6:29, and Hoy is just in the north of Laurel. But there it is, the rotation now crossing the Leaf River at the Jones-Covington line, and it'll be getting close to the Mustangs area, Mustang country over here, West Jones, over here at Highway 29 and Highway 84. It'll be there probably about 5 and 10 minutes from now. But as Hannah said, we are not seeing any signs of any any debris with this storm. We are seeing the rotation, but I'm just not seeing any debris. And as I look over here in Weather Service chat, I'm not seeing anything new coming in from there either. So we're still watching things kind of carefully here. The Weather Service in Jackson is also still kind of busy because there's more than just this one area that's happening. There's other areas here across the Pine Belt that are happening that still have areas that they're issuing tornado warnings up in North Mississippi right now. They're talking about the cell up in Lowndes County cycling. They're also talking about other storms as well. But we're still watching everything at the moment, not seeing any signs of debris with this storm at the moment. But we are still watching it. The area of rotation out here now just to the east of Mitchell Farm. So it's crossing 84 within the next 3 to 4 minutes. It'll be doing so right near the Leaf River, which is also the county line. So here's Hebron. Here's Soso, West Jones High School, Calhoun, West Jones Elementary, the airport, the city of Laurel, and Shady Grove. That way you can kind of get your bearing here on what's going on. And there's the area of rotation. So as you can see, this is still a little bit ways away, but we got plenty of time to watch this. Laurel, this would really be a good time to get into your safe spot. And again, this will miss Ellisville. This is going to miss Ellisville by a good little distance. But It will be eventually coming up towards the interstate. As you can see some of the exits popping up. Exit 99, which is just north of Laurel, the north side of Laurel, and then 104, which I want to say is Sandersville at around 634 coming into Powers as well. But this will stay north of Ellisville, but it is coming towards that camera this evening. And I'm going to go ahead and pull back up that Laurel Ford camera. One thing to notice, this all the lightning that we continue to see. If y'all will take that camera full right now, we're just seeing a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm as it continues to move in across the area. And as you can see some of the definition of the clouds. But again, a very electric environment here across the Pine Belt tonight. This storm is still a good bit away. The area of rotation with it is in the west side of Jones County. And then we're seeing this kind of activity all the way in Laurel. Winds right now south at 14, gusting to 21 at that Skycam location. 74 degrees out there at the moment. And our camera out at Ellisville is also still seeing a lot of lightning as well. It's dark there. It's a little bit darker. Columbia, not too bad. We'll head out to Petro Nissan right now. Currently, as you can see, a much quieter night into the city of Hattiesburg. Every once in a while, we'll see a flash of lightning there. But outside of that Laurel storm, there's really not much going on, but it's that Laurel Skycam, which is really lit up at the moment as everything continues to get closer to that camera location. So what we'll go ahead and do, we'll go back over to our Skycam. Hannah, do you have anything new coming in? Okay. So we don't have anything new as of right now, but we are up here towards Hebron. We're watching for that area of rotation, and as you can see, that's where that appendage is. That appendage is the hook, and that is continuing to move off towards the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. So here it is near Hebron, continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east. And so at 618, Calhoun at 621, and the city of Laurel by 6:30. So Laurel, you got about 20 more minutes, and then that's going to be about it. You got to get into that safe spot. But it is a long night, and it unfortunately is not over. We're still tracking this one supercell here across the Pine Belt, and it is making for a rough go of it for that evening commute. The good news, Collins, you're out of the you're clear of the danger, and basically all of Covington County is as well. Now, this storm has now moved off towards your east. Still heavy rain, still lightning out towards Hot Coffee. But it's calming down a little bit as of right now. And this is going to go, by the way, north of Ellisville, but we're still watching things very carefully here this evening. Hannah, do you have anything new with this thunderstorm right now? I'm going to toss it over to you so I can get something to drink.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I don't have anything new now. National Weather Service chat is not saying anything, but I can sure talk about it for a little while. I want you to get something to drink and take a break for a second. Right now, of course, this is showing a lot of lightning. Let me get the lightning bolts up here. It'll be a little easier to see. So we can go ahead and take them at full right now if you want to. And we can see there's a lot of lightning across the area, especially over in Hebron, Hot Coffee. So-so has even getting some lightning from this storm. And again, this is not anything on the ground, but we're certainly seeing a lot of rotation from this. And it looks like it's starting to weaken maybe just a little bit. That's not confirmed by anybody. That's just me observing. Let me get rid of this lightning. Okay, there we go. And so right now, this is right over Hebron, past Mitchell Farms, crossing over Highway 84 right now. And it doesn't look as strong as it was just a few minutes ago. We can loop this right here. Yeah, and you can see it's still sitting just over Hebron, Highway 84 again. And like Patrick said, crossing it is so-so here in just a few more minutes. Let me get a tracker on this really quickly. And so we can see just when it's expected to be kind of in your area if you're in Jones County, certainly anywhere near So-So or Laurel. Let's take a look right now. Okay, so Hebron around 6:07, So-So 6:20, and Laurel around 6:35 is what we're looking at right now. Again, this is not on the ground. This is just a rotation, but you certainly need to get in your safe spot just in case, especially if you are near So-So. That's here in about 15 minutes or so. So I would go ahead and get in that safe location just to be safe. We always want to make sure that everybody's staying as safe as they can in times like these, even though it's not on the ground. It's just a rotation in the air right now. Let me pull up a debris signature and see if we can see anything. Yeah, I'm just not seeing any debris from this at all, so it's certainly not on the ground right now. But that doesn't mean that it won't be eventually. So definitely, if you're in Hebron or Laurel, you guys need to get in your safe spot right now, just in case, because it is headed your direction as we speak. It is moving about 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour right now. And that is kind of what we're looking at as we go through the night right now. Again, it's not on the ground. We're not seeing any new updates, no debris signature, but this is where it is headed. I'll go ahead and just make an arrow of kind of where it's going. That was terrible. Let me redo that just 1 second. Let me redo that. I did not mean to hit that button. Okay, yeah. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and make another so that you guys can kind of see if you're near any of these cities, you need to be taking your safe spot right now. It's not on the ground confirmed, but it is rotation headed your way. So 622 for Calhoun 627, Laurel 636. And if you're anywhere near exit 99, 639, so right over there near Laurel, you guys need to go ahead and get in that safe spot, just in case, because again, this is not on the ground, but we're still seeing this rotation right here above Hebron right now. And this is kind of where it's been sitting for a few minutes. You can see just over here, right crossing Highway 84 right now. In Hebron, it is headed northeast towards towards Calhoun, towards Laurel. So that's kind of where it's headed right now. Just taking a look again at the debris signature just to be safe. I'm not really seeing much of anything there, but this is what it's looking like. And again, this is the only thing that we're looking at across the Pine Belt right now. Of course, we have lots of areas with scattered heavy rain across the area. You can see down towards New Augusta, they're getting some rain down there, but this is the only warning that we're having in the Pine Belt right now. This is the only concern that we have right now. This is the only tornado warning in the Pine Belt all day. This storm has been causing tornado warnings as it's moved through the Pine Belt from Jeff Davis County through Collins, and now it's over towards Hebron right now. So this is the only thing that we're kind of watching, and that's why we're not really zooming out too much anywhere else, because this is really the only area of concern. So if you are not in this like direct area of the tornado warning right now, into Jones County, just east of Collins area, towards Hot Coffee and Hebron, nothing to worry about right now. So this is the only area that we're worried about on the radar. You can see this warning in Jones County towards Laurel, Sandersville even, and areas like Calhoun and Hebron. Okay, let's take a look again. There's a lot of lightning with this storm. You can certainly see it on the sky cams as we've been looking at, and you can certainly see it if you're anywhere near these areas. This is causing a lot of lightning as it moves through the area, and so it's going to be a very, very loud storm. It is causing a lot. Okay, we just got an update from the National Weather Service. I'm going to check that out really quickly and see what they have said. I'm going to look on the National Weather Service chat just to make sure. Okay, so it's not saying it's on the ground yet. It's just extending the warning for Jones County until 6:45 p.m. and it is just near Hebron, 9 miles southwest of Stringer. This is the one that we've been looking at. So they have canceled the warning for Covington County, Mississippi. So you guys are out of this warning now. The only areas in this warning are is Hebron and area. That is where the warning is as we're taking a look right now. So again, if you're in Covington County, you are out of this warning. This warning is not applying to you anymore. You can go ahead and come out of that safe area if you were still in it, because you guys are not in this warning any longer. And this is kind of what we're taking a look at. It's causing a lot of heavy rain. We still got that area of rotation just above Hebron now. It's just northeast of Hebron as it's making its way towards So definitely still be in your safe spot if you are anywhere in this area, because it's not on the ground right now, but it certainly has a rotation to it, and we just want to make sure you guys are staying safe as the storm heads your way. So if you are in this area, there's not even any debris on it right now, so it's certainly not on the ground right now, but just Goodness, I need something to drink too, Patrick. But just make sure that you're staying in your safe area if you are near Hebron or So right now, because that is where this warning is. Again, Covington County, Mississippi, you guys are out of this warning. So that is some good news for you if you are in that area. But Jones County, you guys are still in this warning. And I'm going to toss things over to back to Patrick because he is back at the desk.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. And I'm going to tell you, those little breaks like that are lifesavers when you're up here talking for hours and hours and hours on end. You just need a quick little break to rest your voice. But we're still watching this. And notice, the Weather Service has trimmed this. Laurel is no longer under that tornado warning. It looks like this is going to more northeast, so this would be coming directly towards Soso. So this is going to miss West Jones High School. This is going to miss West Jones Elementary School, and it's going to miss the actual area of Calhoun, where the red light is there at 84 and 28. But this is coming at 529. And it will be coming up towards Soso pretty soon. Eventually, this will be coming in to up here towards to Jasper County. But as of right now, we're quiet at the moment. No warning up here for Jasper County. But of course, we're going to watch things carefully. Of course, the next towns in line would be Stringer and areas around 533. But as of right now, this is the only thing that we're still watching. It's still moving northeast, but it is coming very close to the town of Soso. And to give you an idea of where the actual storm is versus Soso, now 612, it'll be there at 618. So it's not too far away. It's knocking on your doorstep. And again, there's rotation within this thunderstorm, but we're not seeing the signs that this is on the ground as of right now. So that's some good news. It's not on the ground. We don't have anything to confirm it that it's on the ground. And as we look over here on velocity, yeah, it's not there. But the rotation certainly is. And the Weather Service is still noting that as of right now. I'm looking to see if they're asking anything with the cell over in Jones County. They're not speaking of it right now. Of course, they got some cells that are coming into the northwest side of Jackson. They're also covering two other tornado warning cells north of Jackson. One of them, by the way, over here towards Starkville. So that was the last report we saw there. But we're waiting to see what the Weather Service is going to say if they are going to continue this into Jasper County, which I would have a pretty good feeling they will. How good a feeling? Well, it just popped up on the map. So there is our answer there. So we're going to continue this marathon into another county now. So we're going to so now we have Jasper County. You get to join in with this tornado warning now that is going to be coming out for you. So Jasper County, this is going to be the same storm that's near Soso at the moment. Hail size of 1 inch and a radar indicated tornado. This warning is going to go until 7:15 tonight. And it does include Stringer. It does include areas over here towards Moss and also Heidelberg. And basically the highway between Bay Springs and Heidelberg, the whole thing is going to be under that warning. And then also up here towards 503, towards Paulding and Vossburg, you're under the warning. Heidelberg, you're on the edge of it, but you get the idea. You're going to be watching. It's going to be very close. But there's the warning going off in the Weather Center across the hall from me. And again, this is going until 7:15. Hannah, do you see anything new coming out with it, or the Weather Service saying anything, or did they just issue the warning? Okay, so they just issued the warning as of right now. So they just issued it, and so let's go ahead and put a path cast on it. Now, like I said, Soso, it's right on top of you right now. That's where the area of rotation currently is. It's about to move into Moss. Moss is about right in here. And it's coming this way. It's about to cross over 15 between Shady Grove and Stringer. It'll be doing that in about 5 minutes. It's about to cross over 28 right now in the town of Soso. And this is it's a dangerous storm. It's produced a few little spin-ups here and there, but it's been mostly radar indicated for a good chunk of your life. But again, the rotation with this storm is strong. It is definitely there. I mean, you don't need a meteorology degree to see that. You don't need you don't need 5 years of math and science to see. That is a spinning thunderstorm, very apparent. I mean, it's decent rotation with this thunderstorm. And it will be crossing over just to the north of Soso by about a mile or so, and then it'll move into Jasper County, and it'll be moving through Jasper County through about 7:15, because that's how long that warning is in effect. So Jasper County, you need to go and be getting in that safe spot. Stringer, Paulding, now towards the north and towards the east. In fact, let's go ahead and put a track on this. So it is now near Soso. And again, it's going to be coming into Stringer at 6:27, Lake Como by 6:40, Waldrop at 6:46, and Paulding by 6:56. So there again, Lake Como 6:40 Central Time tonight, Stringer 6:27, and this is going to continue to move off towards the north and towards the east here at about 35 miles per hour. But again, the rotation is certainly there tonight. There's no denying it. There's no it's there. It's spinning like a top. Whenever you see the bright red and the blue right next to each other, you know it. You know what you're looking at. And it is currently sitting near Soso, kind of between Soso now and Stringer. It's on the Jones-Jasper County line, and this is going to continue to move off towards the north and east this evening. Sharon, you're going to be bypassed by this, and by the way, Laurel, basically I can give you the all clear, because the area of Laurel is here. The storm is about to move into Jasper County now, near the Stringer community. So this is going to miss Laurel, but it is kind of taking a little bit of a curve, kind of a hook to it as it moves off towards the north and east. We're still getting some hail reports with this storm, basically some quarter to nickel-sized hail with this, but it's not as big in terms of diameter hail like we saw earlier back here towards the west, towards Bassfield, before it moved into Covington County. But again, we are still watching it this evening as it continues to move off towards the north and east. Now, for everybody else across the viewing area, here's what we're looking at. That one tornado warning basically northwest Jones and into Jasper County. There are other cells developing across Louisiana and across Mississippi, but it's the central part of Mississippi towards the I-20 corridor. So what we're looking at there, in terms of what we're looking at, is more severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, there is that tornado warning up near Columbus, Mississippi now. There's another one over here just to the east of Kosciuszko, kind of between Kosciuszko and Louisville, and then down towards or Louisville, and then down just to the south of that would be Philadelphia. That's going to miss that by a mile, but we're still watching areas up here in North Mississippi. We got other cells over here towards Flora, towards Jackson. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. But look over here, Winsboro. This is getting between Natchez and Monroe. This is into the parishes of northeast Louisiana. Tornado on the ground with that storm. So it's still an active night, and again, the night is young, and we're not done with this. Not done with it by a mile. We may still be doing this here. It's what, 6:19, so we still may be here tracking storms for the next 10 hours or so, because the squall line is not expected to come through until 2 a.m. So you get the point. We're still going to be tracking everything here across the area, and so if you're up here in Bay Springs, so I wanted to mention this. If you're up here in Bay Springs, the area of rotation with this storm is near Soso. It's going to miss you if you're in Bay Springs. But if you live closer towards Stringer, you need to be in that safe spot. Very tight rotation near Soso at the moment. This rotation really tightening up, and it continues to move off towards the north and east. So here's the rotation. Here's where it's heading. Stringer is in the path of that area, and what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit tighter. So where are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Highway 15. It's crossing 533 now. It'll be crossing 15 here in about 5 minutes. But then we're talking about the county road network of Jasper County. So County Road 17, County Road 10, County Road 21, County Road 812, County Road 23. You get the idea. Basically, southwestern Jasper County need to be in that safe spot right now. Because of this very strong area of rotation that's going to be moving up towards the north. And again, this is about to cross over Stringer very soon. Stringer High School is about right here. So that's it's getting very close out there this evening. But it is crossing now from Jones County into Jasper County, and everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. I'm going to ask Mallory, who's our producer in there, if you're in the booth, do we have any reports of any more damage or anything coming out like that, or is it? Okay, we haven't had anything new come in. So, this is one of those cases where no news is good news, and hopefully no news means nothing new. Obviously we don't want to see any more damage tonight. We've already had a couple of properties damaged out into Lawrence County, and possible some damage out towards Bassfield. We're still waiting to hear back on that. But if this thing continues on, this is going to be getting over towards Stringer here in about 10 minutes. It'll be getting near Lake Como at 6:42, Acme at 6:44, Waldrop at 6:47, and McNeil at 6:53. And by the way, I just wanted to put Stringer on there, 6:29. So right around 6:30, this will be moving into Stringer as everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. So very long night here. This has been one that we have been tracking since, I want to say, just before 5 o'clock. We were tracking this storm when they issued a tornado warning on it way back here in Marion County. But this has now moved through, it's moved through Lawrence, Marion, it's moved through Jeff Davis, it's moved through Covington, it's moved through Jones, and now it is beginning its track across, it's beginning its track now across Jasper County this evening, and that's where it's currently setting. But again, everywhere else you're fine. The city of Laurel, I don't see anything new coming in at the moment. But as you can see, the rotation is going to miss you by a long distance. Michael, do you got something new? Okay. All right, so I'm going to toss things over to Hannah. Hannah, you got something?
Right now, like Patrick was saying, if you're in the city of Laurel, you're out of this warning. They have cropped you out of it. So let's take a look at who kind of is in this warning, who's in this new warning as this storm moves through. Now, again, this is not a confirmed tornado on the ground. This is where the rotation is right here. Well, like Patrick was saying, where the blue and the red meet, that's a tight rotation right here, about to cross Highway 15. Just south of Stringer. I believe he said the high school was near there, and then that it is going to make its way through the area. It's moving northeast at about 30 miles an hour still, as it's been kind of moving for a while. This hasn't really sped up or slowed down in a little bit. It's been moving about 30 miles an hour for a while now. So this is what we're looking at. Again, this isn't on the ground. This is just a rotating storm as it moves through the area. Again, it's just south of Stringer, but it is headed towards Stringer. It's headed towards that area. So definitely if you're in Stringer, make sure that you know where your safer area is if you're not even in there already. Some of you may be, and that's great. It's about to cross Highway 15 right now. This storm is moving towards Highway 15. Yes, just south of Stringer and Stringer High School, but it is headed your way. So be sure to keep an eye on that. We will be sure to keep an eye on that as it heads northeast. Patrick, do you want me to toss it back over to you now, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you can toss it back over to me. I mean, we're still watching things very carefully this evening. It's still going to be a long night, and by no means are we done. We have been getting some pictures.
They canceled that tornado warning for Jones County.
Okay, that's good. They just canceled that tornado warning for Jones County. That's good. So basically, it's now just a Jasper County thing as of right now. So basically, the area of rotation now near Stringer, it's crossing 533 right now. It'll be crossing 15 within the next 3 to 5 minutes, and it'll be coming in towards the Stringer area. And by the way, if you get any reports of anything or you see anything, be sure to send it to us, but only if you can do so safely. I don't want you out there, losing an arm or getting your head chopped off because of the tornado because you're out there trying to send us footage. We don't want that. Just do it after the storm passes because it's dark. You're not going to see things. So just be careful if you're doing it. But if you do see any damage or have any reports, you can send those in to us. Open up the First Alert Weather app, scroll all the way to the bottom, hit this button right here. It's massive. You can't miss it. Submit your photos. You can send your photos in that way. It also gives us automatic clearance to show them on air. And that way we can share with everybody else what's going on in the community. And also you can send them in on our website, WDAM.com. There's a link right there, and you can send in your pictures or video that way. And again, we can take a video as as well. So if you have anything, safely send it in. I don't want you getting hurt just for the fact. I'd rather not see it other than you to get hurt. But again, the area of rotation it's there. It's still pretty tight. Down here towards Jasper County this evening. Correlation coefficient right now, I'm not seeing any signs that this is currently on the ground. Good news, but again, a very tight rotational signature with this thunderstorm. Again, it is crossing State Road 15 now, just to the south of Stringer. State Road 15 near County Road 155. There's Stringer High School, by the way, so it's going to be close to there. As you can see, County Road 8 down here. So basically between County Road 8 and County Road 155, that is where we're seeing it. There's 537 coming out of Jones County, moving northward up here, and then eventually this will be crossing 19. It'll be crossing County Road 21, County Road 23, and then eventually, if it holds together, County Road 3151. But that's still a good bit south. I would say that's probably about 10-15 minutes away from there. But the area of rotation is still strong. It's still notable, and it's still something that we're watching this evening as everything moves up towards the north and towards the east. So a long night ahead, and again, this is just one cell. This is just one cell that won't go away, that won't quit. And this, unfortunately, has how the night's going to go, I think, a little bit. We're going to continue to see these supercells, and that's why this one's lasting so long. This is a supercell. This is a true supercell, and it is now crossing, as you can see, crossing 15 there. Just to the north of the Jones-Jasper County line, and kind of between there and Stringer. But it is crossing 15. You need to be in that safe spot now, but again, there's County Road 155, and it is getting close to County Road 19 right now as this thing continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. I'm going to look at some things behind the scenes. I want to see, do we see anything back in the background? And I'm not seeing any signs of any rotation. That's some good news with this thunderstorm. Still, I meant not any signs of rotation. It is rotating. I'm not seeing any signs of debris with this thunderstorm. So a little bit of good news there, but it is still rotating. It's still spinning like a top. It's definitely got that look to it, but we're just not seeing any signs of debris with this storm right now. But it is definitely rotating a good bit this evening. And in fact, I'm going to flip this over to Max 3 because I wanted to show you this. This is some strong rotation that I'm noting with this storm now. So I'm going to flip over to Analyst here, and as you can see, there's the rotation between Stringer and Moss right here on 15. Strong rotation with this supercell crossing over the highway right now, and this will be continuing to move up towards the north and towards the east. The rotation continues with this thunderstorm, and it is continuing its track up towards the north and towards the north and east this evening. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. Still a long ways to go. It's not done by any stretch of the imagination, and we're going to be tracking this storm for the next little bit here across the viewing area. But again, rotation with this storm fairly strong at the time, and it's still going to be with us as we go into the next little bit here across the viewing area. Again, there's the rotation. Again, not seeing signs of any debris with it. We would look for any kind of other color, yellow, purple, green, blue. We would look for anything besides maroon. Anything besides maroon would indicate debris. We're not seeing that right now. But again, the rotation still very tight with this thunderstorm, and everything continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. And again, the rotation strong out there right now. And we do got some video that was sent in to us earlier on this evening. All right, so let's go ahead and load that up. Whenever y'all are ready, just go ahead and take that full source. This is a video. This is towards Goss in Marion County, sent in to a viewer. Do we know the name of the viewer, Mallory? Do you know that off the top of your head? If not, okay. This is coming in from Joseph Thompson, and this is in Goss. This is earlier off of Rogers Road in the Goss community, northwest Marion County, and this was this was back when they were saying it was on the ground. This is possible video of that soar moving in, and it is at a distance, but everything about that scene would set up. You got the grass is looking kind of puny. Again, it is November. It was a very electric storm, low cloud base, so that would appear to match up with what we saw earlier this evening, and that again came in from Joseph Thompson from the Goss community, and this would have been around 4 4:30, I think. It would have been around 4:30, 4:45, right around that time. 4:55. So yeah, just before sunset. That would have been when that happened. But again, look at all the lightning with that cell as this thing moves off towards the northeast. And again, if you have any video, you can open up our First Alert Weather app, scroll to the bottom, press the button, and send it in just like Joseph did. Thank you so much for sending that in. But again, we're still watching this area of rotation, and again, you can kind of see the inflow from the thunderstorm. You got the winds moving towards the radar, the winds moving away from the radar. That's what the green and the red stand for. But again, that area of rotation now is just to the east of Stringer, and it is still there. It's still very noticeable this evening as we look at it with the rotational product here. We're still seeing some very strong rotation within this thunderstorm. We're just not seeing any signs of any debris with it, which we hope we can keep it that way. Let it spin like a top, let it move across, but I'd rather it just spin around and touch down. Hopefully we can keep it that way, but unfortunately we have seen a few reports earlier this evening out towards Tilton. Had to think of it for a second. It's been a long day, folks. Okay, we just got a report in from the mayor of Bassfield of trees down in that area. No reports of any structural damage, so that's some good news there. Only some trees down, and again, any thunderstorm can do that. And they are working to clear those trees off of whatever roads they are. I don't know what roads they are on, just the report of trees down. We're working on that right now, but it's starting to come in. Now that everybody is safe, they're starting to venture out. We're starting to get some crews out there, and we're starting to get reports coming in. So that's what we're seeing this evening. So that right there is a look at the radar. Again, area of rotation still there. It is now just to the north of Moss, and this is moving off towards the north and east. So this is now wholly a Jasper County scenario, and it's a little bit away from any of those big populations of the town, but you get the point. People still live out there. That's why we're still on the TV, and even though it is now north of Moss, and it wants you to move that far, it's getting ready to cross over County Road 21. So County Road 21, County Road 23, 27, 210, it's right now on top of 19, but it is about to move over 21, 215, 23, 27, 23, 2313, and 814. These are all roads that are in the path of this thunderstorm that is producing a very tight rotation. And again, that rotation now about 2 or 3 miles east of Stringer, right along County Road 19. Out there this evening, getting ready to cross 21. So we're out here into very rural parts of Jasper County, but still, we got a lot of viewers out there. We want to make sure you are aware of what's going on. And I think this is going to stay just to the west of Heidelberg. As it stands now, I think it will, because here's the storm, here's Heidelberg, and this thing has been moving off towards the north and east pretty much the whole time. We haven't really seen it jog eastward. If anything, it's actually kind of taken a little bit of a lefter turn, kind of moving at a steeper northeast angle rather than kind of a relaxed northeast angle. So it's moving almost due northeast at the moment. 6:34 is our current time. We're still watching this tornado warning system as it's getting ready to cross County Road 21. Again, this is up in Jasper County. To give you an idea, I'm going to zoom out. I want to give you kind of a little bit of reference here. This is not going to impact Bay Springs. This is not going to impact Sandersville, Sharon. You're fine. This is solely a Jasper County event, and it is crossing County Road 19, about to cross over 21. It is now east of Stringer, and it continues to move up towards the north and east. And again, Paulding is the next town in the path of this storm. But again, it is continuing to move northeast here across the Pine Belt tonight. And as you can see, I think it's going to stay just to the west of I-59, but again, it's got plenty of room to wiggle, and that's why the Weather Service doesn't just issue a skinny area, they issue a wide box. That way, if it wiggles, it's still covered. But we're still watching things out here this evening, and again, Stringer out towards just to the north of Voss, Moss. But that's what we're looking at with this storm right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at everybody else who may be tuning in to see Wheel of Fortune or the news at 6:30. You're obviously not seeing it because we are tracking severe weather here across the Pine Belt. This is the one storm we're currently watching. It's the only storm in the Pine Belt. The only storm. Imagine that. The only storm, and it's got a tornado warning on it. But that's how tonight's going. It is obviously no impacts for Hattiesburg at the moment. No impacts really for Laurel. This is solely just a Jones County thing. And once this moves into Clark County, we'll be able to turn this over to our sister station in Meridian, WTOK, and we'll hand off the baton to them. But for now, we're still watching this storm here in Jasper County. But you can see other tornado warnings out here into the parishes of Louisiana, southeast of Monroe. We also got the other thunderstorms moving through the city of Jackson at the moment. We'll take an even wider look across the state of Mississippi. You can see a tornado on the ground moving from the Golden Triangle area, about to cross into Alabama up there. Another tornado warning just to the north of Philadelphia. And all right, so Hannah, it appears, what's the new update with that one?
Confirmed tornado over Vernon near Stringer, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour.
Okay, so they're now saying it's on the ground.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so they're now reporting a tornado on the ground with this thunderstorm.
Yes.
So once again, we now have a tornado on the ground with this thunderstorm. Debris ball being reported with this, so let's go ahead and flip this over, and we'll flip this over to debris. Yep, there it is. That is a debris signature. That indeed is a debris signature. And in fact, let's flip this over to Max 3. I want to show you this, and I can show you this in a little bit cleaner detail over on Max 3. And in fact, look at this. Let me click the button here. There, yep. That is a debris signature, no doubt. That is a debris signature. And as you can see, that has been continuously moving northeast. So we now have a tornado on the ground over here and just to the north of Moss. And this is on the ground. We've been noticing the rotation really tightening up over the last few minutes. And there it is. It is now on the ground near the Moss community. So this is nothing to mess around with. We now have a confirmed tornado on the ground near Moss, and this is moving up towards the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. Hannah, did they say anything else with this storm? Any kind of reports of any damage so far, or no?
Not so far. They haven't said anything, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay, so Hannah is looking at that, but again, we do have that tornado on the ground right now out towards just to the east of Stringer, just to the north of Moss. This is moving northeast, and like I said, it's getting ready to cross. It's between County Road 21 and 23. Tornado on the ground. This will be crossing very soon. Probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes over here towards 528. Again, we've been noticing very tight rotation over here in Jasper County, and the storm has finally cycled, and now it is producing a tornado. We're seeing a big debris signature with this storm, as you can see right here. That debris signature is something that we are noticing, and as you can see, it has been hanging around with this storm for the last couple of scans. Each scan, it comes in around every 2 to 3 minutes, so it's been on the ground for a little bit, and if anything, it's starting to get a little bit bigger here. So that's definitely not good news. But again, we are still seeing a tornado on the ground to the south and east of Bay Springs. This is not coming to Bay Springs. This is going to miss Bay Springs. But there it is, that tornado warned storm right here. Let me back this back out. I wanted it to get a little bit, there we go. I wanted to kind of give you an idea. So here's Bay Springs, here's Moss, Heidelberg, Vosburg. This is where the tornado is. This is going to miss Bay Springs. This is going to miss Heidelberg. But if you have a Heidelberg address and live west of town, you got to be in your safe spot, because this is nothing to mess around with at this point. We now have a confirmed tornado on the ground. And by the way, when I talk about a sea of maroon, this is the sea of maroon. This is the difference. It stands out like a sore thumb. Anything, any other color besides maroon, it could be a tornado. And with this setting up in the same spot as the rotation, it certainly is. In fact, I can show you that right here. So here's the rotation. I'm pointing at it now. And then there it is. Yep. Tornado on the ground. Very strong rotation with this thunderstorm. The rotation very strong with it. And again, it is getting ready to cross 23. In fact, it is sitting right now on top of Highway 23 up here in Jasper County. So just to the north of Moss and just to the west of Heidelberg, that is where this current tornado is. It is crossing Highway 23 as of right now. And it is about to, within the next minute or so, within the next couple of minutes, it'll be coming up on 528. That's what that little skinny blue line is right here. That's Highway 528. Here's County Road 23, and it'll be moving over that very soon. But again, tornado on the ground in southern Jasper County at the moment. So if you are in southern Jasper County, you got to get into your safe spot now. We're talking about put that brain bucket on, put on a helmet, a motorcycle helmet. It doesn't have to be something extreme. It's something as simple as a kid's bicycle helmet. If anything, it'll protect your head from flying debris, such as 2x4. It could help save your life. Get into the interior-most room, away from windows, away from any exterior walls. If you don't have an interior room, get into that long hallway, which forks off at the end and goes to the bedrooms or to the dens. Close those doors. Get as far away from the open end as you can and protect yourself with pillows, blankets, even a mattress if you have to. But again, we do have that tornado on the ground right now in central Jasper County. It is crossing County Road 23 as I speak, and it is about to be crossing 528 here within the next 5 minutes or so. And again, this is nothing to mess around with here across the area. So you got to get into that safe spot now. This is going to be a long night, folks, and this is only one storm. This is the only storm in the viewing area. This is the only storm within, that's not in Jackson right now, and it's producing a tornado. So this is a sign of how tonight could go. But unfortunately, we do have that tornado on the ground. Again, this is in central Jasper County. It is crossing Highway 23 and County Road 23, and it will be coming up pretty soon over here towards, I just saw it, I think it's County Road or State Road 538. Santa?
528.
528, excuse me, 528. So yeah, we have a tornado on the ground right now up in northern Jasper County, and it is definitely doing damage. We do have that strong sign of rotation with this as this continues to move off towards the north and east. We also still have those signs of hail with this thunderstorm too, but it's not the hail that we're really concerned about. It's the tornado that is currently on the ground. So there it is, currently crossing 528 very soon. So you need to be in your safe spot. Paulding, get into your safe spot now. Again, the tornado is on the ground and it is doing damage out there right now. We can clearly see it on Doppler radar that it is doing damage here into the Pine Belt. So a long night indeed. And we're not even done yet. Hannah, do you have anything new on your side so far?
I am looking, but I don't see anything new so far. I'm just seeing what you're saying.
Okay.
National Weather Service isn't saying anything either.
Okay. I was looking.
The only reports of damage they're talking about is the stuff in Bassfield from earlier.
Okay. All right, so I'm seeing reports of Bassfield and a few power poles snapped on Highway 35 south of Bassfield. That's it. So that's the only thing that we have out right now. But again, we are still watching things this evening with that tornado on the ground. So you need to take cover immediately over here into central Jasper County. Again, this is Jasper County. Here's Jones County. And over here would be Clark County. Bay Springs, you're not in danger from this storm. This is halfway across the county from you. But it has just crossed 23, and this is continuing to move northeast. It'll be getting very close to, looks like a little subdivision here, County Road 52816, 5-digit county road numbers. It'll be crossing over the highway there, and then it'll be crossing and getting towards County Road 31, County Road 5284. This is nothing to mess around with, folks. This is the real deal when it comes to the rotation. It's right there. It is producing damage. and there it is. In fact, let's go ahead and put some more streaks on here. I wanted to flip back over to max, and that way I can put some streaks on here. All right, so here we are, 528, 52, 528, 16. We have 14, 528, 14. County Road 29, 528, 12. It's basically right on top of you right now. This is where the debris signature is. This is where the tornado is currently doing damage, and we'll put it back over to the mode. This blue ball right here, this is the area of rotation that is doing damage. This is the debris signature we're noticing on radar right now. And again, this is moving northeast. This is in very rural parts of the county, but Paulding, you will be the next town in the path of this. And notice, it's not that far away. Waldrop by 648. Waldrop is not showing up on the map for some reason, but I'm going to make it show up here in a second. So it's moving very close to Waldrop. It's moving right over towards Paulding. And if this holds together, Waldrop at 648, Paulding at 658. And again, this is continuing to move northeast. So this will be crossing 528 very soon, within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then it'll be heading up towards the northeast. But again, tornado on the ground with this storm, a very dangerous setup. Okay, and we're getting reports now of some damage, not structural damage, but we're getting reports to Southern Pine. There's over 700 people without power right now just south of Bay Springs. Obviously, they're not going to go outside right now and work on it because there is an active tornado on the ground with this storm, but it is a sign that it is producing some damage as it moves from southwest to northeast this evening. Sitting here near Paulding, 5:03, it'll be crossing over there at around the top of the hour, but it is still doing damage out here this evening, so this is nothing to mess around with. And most of the power outages are being reported right now are near Stringer, so that's what we're looking at the moment. So out towards Stringer, you got to be into your safe spot right now. This is the radar, and that's where the area of rotation is. It is producing that debris signature, which is sitting right here. So that right there is 528. And this is crossing near 52 County Road 528-16. So you need to be in that safe spot right now. Again, tornado on the ground, actively producing damage at the intersection of 528 and 5 on County Road 528-16. So it is a long evening here across the area, and that's where we're seeing the roughest of this thunderstorm right now. It is in central parts of Jasper County. I'm going to widen this out just a little bit so you can kind of get an idea. So this is going to go east of Turnerville. This is heading directly towards Paulding. It's going to miss Heidelberg, and it's going to miss Vossburg, but it is heading directly towards Waldrop and towards Paulding. So you need to be in your safe spots now up in central Jasper County, because it is now into the central part of the county, but it continues to move up towards the north and towards the east, and it is continuing to move northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hannah, do you have anything new coming in on your side?
Nothing new that I'm seeing. I'm looking around though for any reports or anything, but I'm not seeing anything new.
Okay, so hopefully
not just yet.
Not just yet. That's the point. I think it is just a yet thing. We don't have the reports yet, but I think they're going to be coming in a little bit later on this evening. So we're still seeing that a strong area of rotation. It is matching up with our debris ball right here. The debris ball is now crossing State Road 528 just to the west of Heidelberg and just to the west of Vossburg here in central Perry County, continuing to move off towards the north and east. So again, Paulding, you got about 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes right now if you're in Paulding. You got to get in your safe spot if you are in Paulding, because it is heading directly towards you, and it is doing so at a very quick pace this evening. So take cover now if you're in Paulding. You got a tornado on the ground about 5 miles southwest of you, and it is heading directly for the town of Paulding. So this is not something to mess around with. Get into your safe spot now. Very tight rotation with this storm. We've seen this storm cycle off and on pretty much all day long, and now we are seeing it really ramp up here across the area this evening. Very, very tight rotation on the highway here, 528, and then that'll be heading up towards Paulding. The next state road on the list would be 503. 503 is this right here. It's coming into Paulding, but here's the rotation. Here's what a tornado is still on the ground, currently just to the west of Heidelberg, and this is moving off towards the north and east at 35 miles per hour. So very strong rotation. You definitely don't want to mess around with this thunderstorm because it is currently still producing a tornado out there this evening. And as you notice, it's kind of hard to see it. It's going to be rain wrapped. This is not something you're going to be able to see. It's going to be drowned. The storm is going to be drowned out by the sound of heavy rain, which is currently falling all around the storm. So you definitely don't want to wait around for this one. You won't hear it. It's going to be very loud, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and a lot of heavy rain. And again, the only warning in the story in our area that we're watching is Jasper County. It's the only sale in the area too. There's nothing else here across the Pine Belt. We're in a lull at the moment. Hattiesburg, Purvis, New Augusta, Leakesville, nothing here across the Pine Belt. Outside of that one cell, this is the only thing out there. It's one little shower just to the east of Brookhaven, out there towards the west, out in Lincoln County. But that's it. Other thunderstorms are going through the Jackson metro area at the moment. We'll take a wider look, and as you can see, other severe thunderstorms up here towards the Delta, up here into the Jackson metro. Still another tornado warning out into the parishes of Louisiana. But for us, it is just this one little thunderstorm that we're currently watching in our neck of the woods, and that's Jasper County. And guess what? It's still on the ground. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit tighter here because, you know, obviously we want to make sure everybody is staying up to date with this one thunderstorm. Again, this is out towards Jasper County. That we're looking at with this thunderstorm, and this is going to be continuing to move up towards the north and towards the east here at 35 miles an hour, and the rotation is sitting near just to the south of Paulding. Hannah, I see a new tornado watch is coming out. Do you have any information on that so far?
Let me pull it up. It's until 8 p.m. and it's for over half the Pine Belt that just got under this. It's Marion, Lamar, Forest, Perry, Greene County, and then Wayne County, Jones County, Covington County, Jeff Davis County, Lawrence County, Simpson, Smith, Jasper, and Clark County as well. Those are all under the tornado watch until 8 p.m. tonight. Okay.
And we're still watching things as well. And I'm looking over here. So it looks like they're continuing on that tornado watch for this evening. It looks like a little bit of an extension for some of the counties that are already under there, so they're going to continue that tornado watch. I'm looking over here. I still see a lot of the viewing area under the tornado watch until 11 a.m. And it looks like what they've done is for those counties that had the tornado watch earlier today at 7 o'clock, they're continuing that on for another couple of hours this evening. So it looks like kind of a new watch is being issued here for those western Mississippi counties that kind of butt up to our viewing area until 2 a.m. You can see it kind of scrolling up here just above my head this evening. But that's what we're looking at right now. Currently 6:52 is the current time, and we're still watching that area of rotation, which has been producing a tornado. Although I will say the rotation the debris signature with this does not appear as robust as it did, say, 5 to 10 minutes ago. Definitely the rotation, the debris signature appears to be coming down just a little bit with this thunderstorm, but it is not to say that this storm is done producing.
They just continued that tornado watch for Clark, Covington, Forest, Jasper, Jones, Lamar, Lauderdale, Marion, and Smith counties until 11 p.m. tonight.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So until 11 p.m. Gotcha. Yes. All right. So they're continuing that tornado watch, and they extended it until 11 p.m. And unfortunately, I think we're going to continue to see more watches because I think we're going to have to deal with this after that time frame. Again, they can only issue watches for X amount of hours. There is a limit. It may not seem like it sometimes, but there is a limit to what they can issue. And when that comes up, they can only issue to that max limit, then they reissue another watch. And that's what I think we're going to see happen later on this evening. But we're still seeing that debris signature, although it's much, much weaker. It's crossed 528. It's currently sitting on County Road 3115, and it'll be crossing 503 soon. So to give you an idea, here's exit 118, way north, way up here. up in Jasper County. We're getting close to Paulding. This is very far away. This is getting closer to the Clark County line, but we're still seeing that air rotation currently sitting right here, and the Weather Service is going to continue this tornado warning, and this continues for a little bit longer. In fact, the tornado warning that's currently in effect as of right now goes until 7:15. So until you're going to be with us until 7:15 this evening, but we're watching Jasper County very carefully at the moment. Again, the debris signature is there. We've been tracking this storm pretty much all day long, at least since 4 o'clock, when it's produced a couple of brief tornado touchdowns out near Tifton and then out towards Goss, and then we got reports of damage out of Bassfield, and then we got reports of some power outages out across Bassfield, and then we got some more reports of power outages just to the south of Bay Springs, and then we had a tornado with this again. It's just been one of those nights. So this storm is cycling. It's producing, it weakened, it regroups, it produces again, and it weakens, it regroups, it produces, weakens. So you get the point. It's the circle of life, and that's what this thing is doing. It's cycling. It's going through its different phases, but it is weakening a little bit. So a little bit of good news, but still, if you're along 503 right now in northern Jasper County, you got to be in that safe spot as of right now this evening. And this thing continues to move up towards the north and east. Eventually, this will be getting close to Pashuta very soon. If it continues on its current track. So because the debris signature is becoming harder to define, we'll flip it back over to velocity mode. And there it is, getting ready to cross 503 just to the south of Paulding. And then eventually, as you can see, this is Clark County. And here's Pashuta, there's Stonewall. And eventually beyond that would be getting into the Meridian area up towards Lauderdale County eventually as well. That would be beyond our banner here, but you get the point. We're getting pretty far removed out here this evening. But again, we're still watching this air rotation right now. Again, that's crossing it's crossing 503 right now near Paulding, and again, this is going to continue to move off towards the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. We have had debris signature with it across a good chunk of Jasper County. It's still got a debris signature with it, just not as strong as it was earlier. Not to say that it's still not down. I'm just saying that the storm, if it is still down, it is not as strong as it was, say, 10 minutes ago. But the debris signature is still there, and therefore this storm still needs to be respected. And again, this is the only storm that we're watching out there right now as this thing continues to move off towards the north and east. Eventually, it'll be crossing 503, which is about to do right now. And then eventually this will be coming up to Highway 18, which goes through Pashuta right here. And that's what you would take to head over towards Rose Hill if you were to take it and go west. And eventually you would come up towards 513 as well. So this is where we're sitting at right now. We're getting close to the top of the hour. We've already, so we just got an update. So we're getting close to the top of the hour. They're continuing the tornado on the ground tag with this thunderstorm. Okay, and we just got a report in from Mallory, who's our producer. She just told me in my ear, 2,800 people currently without power in Jasper County. All right, at 6:57, a confirmed, and that's with Southern Pine right now. All right, so at 6:57, a confirmed tornado is located over Paulding, or 16 miles west of Quitman, moving northeast at 40. So again, the tornado is still observed. We still have the debris signature, and like I said, the debris signature, it is still there. It's just not as strong as we were looking at earlier. So we still have a tornado on the ground. Just may not have as much objects inside of it to bounce the radar beam off of. But we're still seeing that debris signature with this storm as it continues to move, and it is crossing 503 right now. But the tornado warning remains in effect for Jasper County until 7:15. So we're going to be continuing to watch this evening, and it is going to be a long night. Hannah, do you got anything new coming in with you at the moment?
Nothing new with me at the moment. My Max is crashing though, so I'm trying to get that pulled back up as we're looking at this tornado warning on the ground. So as soon as this gets back up, I can help you out just a little bit more, Patrick. I'm sorry about that.
You take your time. This is the joys of moving into a temporary studio, so y'all can come back over to me this evening. So here we are, 7:15. the counties that we're watching, Jasper County, hail size, still 1 inch hail possible, so that would be quarter size hail, and the rotation now sitting on top of 503. So what I'm going to do now is go back to velocity mode, and you can see that rotation still very strong out there this evening as it is crossing over State Road 503. It is coming up, what intersection is that? County Road 39. So County Road 39 at 503. That is the major intersection that it is at now. It is now coming into the northeastern side of Jasper County, and eventually this will be moving towards Pashuta very soon, and Highway 11 and the interstate will be very close. And there comes a new tornado warning out. That's going to be a tornado warning to continue this into Clark County, and once this reaches Clark County, we're going to pass our baton on to WTOK in Meridian. They have jurisdiction over Clark County, and if you want to continue coverage, you'll be able to continue on with them. My good friend Dietrich Tate up there this evening covering that storm. Paulding, though, you're still under the gun, but again, the rotation beginning to weaken, and you notice the Weather Service did not go with a tornado on the ground polygon, the one that has the white outline. That's what we can distinguish it. So if it has a white outline, it means the tornado is on the ground. If it's just a solid red, it's just a standard tornado warning. But the rotation with this storm beginning to weaken a little bit. It's getting ready to cross highway or Interstate 59 near Pashuta, and that would be coming up right there at Highway 18. So I know this is getting a little bit of way out, but here we are. It'll be coming into Pashuta right around 7:10, and eventually it'll come over towards exit 126. That's what the intersection is there. Exit 126, Highway 18, and it'll be getting there at 7:13 Central Time, and then eventually it'll be moving into portions of Clark County as this thing moves off towards the north and towards the east. 7:01 is the current time. You're still watching WDAM 7. We're still tracking severe weather coverage here across the area. WDAM 7, Laurel, Hattiesburg, and around the world on WDAM7.com. And we're still watching things out here this evening. And Chief Meteorologist Patrick Bigby, Meteorologist Hannah Hayes is here with me as well. And we are gearing up for a long night here across the Pine Belt. What we're going to continue to see here, well, we're still waiting for more cells to move in here this evening. This would be kind of, I hate to put it this way, kind of the appetizer. Hopefully it's not, because this is a terrible meal. But you get what I'm trying to say. This is the round one. We still have another round of severe weather expected to move in later on tonight around the late night hours, basically 11 p.m. to about 4 a.m. That's when we're going to be watching for that. But this is continuing to move off towards the north and east. The rotation, though, much weaker than it was in its form, I would say about 15 minutes ago. But I'm going to stay with this until it reaches Pashuta, and then we'll pass the baton on to our sister station, WTOK. And if you would like to continue coverage with this storm, you can head to their website, WTOK, and my good friend Dietra is covering that storm, chief meteorologist up there in Meridian tonight. But again, we're still watching this Paulding right now. 503 is now just east of you, and it is now kind of between 503 and State Road 18. So we're getting close to the Pashuta area. And the area of rotation will continue to move northeast, although, as I've said, this storm has been exhibiting signs that it is cycling. It strengthens, and then it weakens, it regroups, it strengthens, it weakens, it regroups, and it produces. It's going through that cycle. And I think we're getting into the weakening phase of this thunderstorm. Again, not done. I don't think it's done for tonight. It's just kind of in its different phase, as you would say this evening. But again, severe thunderstorm, or tornado warning, I should say, tornado warning remains in effect until 7:15 for Jasper County. The area of rotation is here. It's about to move into Pashuta, and then it'll be moving into Clark County towards Stonewall, and eventually this will be also including Lauderdale County too, as it moves off towards the north and east, and that'll be getting up into the city of Meridian. In fact, I'm going to just kind of zoom out here just a touch, just to kind of give you the reference. Those are bigger areas. I didn't want to move that much. But there we go. So here's Heidelberg, here's Rose Hill, Pashuta right here, and here is Meridian up here towards the north and east. Here's I-59. Here's where 20 is. This is where 59 and 20 become, and then you would take that up towards, after you pass Meridian, you'd go to Alabama towards Cuba, Livingston, and eventually up towards Tuscaloosa that way. But this is still up here in northeastern Jasper County that we're still watching our one storm right now. And again, this storm has a history of producing damage. We've had 2,800 people reported without power across Jasper County, and this is just in Jasper County alone. We've got other reports of damage throughout the Pine Belt with this storm. Some minor damage at this time, but still, damage is damage, and we don't want to see that happen. And we want to make sure everybody can stay safe this evening. That's why we're still on the air, and that's why we're going to stay here throughout the rest of this evening. But there it is, I-59. We're looking off towards the north and east. The area of rotation continues to sit here, and this is about to move into, again, it's moving into Clark County, and eventually it'll head over to Lauderdale County too, as this continues to move northeast. But again, Peshuta, Stonewall, this will go just to the north of Quitman, and everything will continue to move off towards the north and east. But exit 128, I do believe that's what that is, with Highway 18 and Peshuta. So we're starting to get way out in, we're getting pretty close to the Meridian area. By the way, Meridian sits about right here. So it's just off screen, but you can kind of see the bottom part of the font that says Meridian right here. But there it is. So here it is. It's getting ready to cross into Clark County. Again, we're staying with this until it moves out of Jasper County. Jasper County is one of our counties, and still we got viewers who watch us out here. And again, the rotation, it's only about 2 or 3 miles away from Peshuta, but there it is. It's getting ready to cross. In fact, let me put let me zoom in just a touch more. And see if I can get that road to pop up. Of course, it's not going to pop up. Oh, there it goes. County Road 16. So the rotation now is near County Road 16 and near I-59. And then again, here is exit 126. Here's State Road 18. Here's Peshuta. And then this will be moving into Clark County very soon. But again, this is the only thing that we're watching here across the viewing area at the moment. But this has a history of producing damage. It has produced a tornado at some point this evening. It was very strong rotation earlier with this storm. As you can see, because of how fast it's moving, we don't get that smooth line, but we do get those little chunks. And every time you see that, that's where the storm is. And you can kind of put it together in your mind. This is the area of rotation as it moved off towards the north and towards the east. You can see it was very strong rotation as it moved just to the south of Stringer, but now we're starting to see it weaken once again as it moves off towards the central Jasper County, towards Paulding, and now towards Peshuta. But we're still watching it nonetheless this evening. But it has been kind of a long day, and again, hard to believe, but this is what? This is only round one. We still got another round here across the Pine Belt later on tonight, unfortunately, but we'll be here throughout the rest of the evening to keep you safe and informed. But we're going to stay with this storm, by the way, until it finally moves out. It's getting very close to the county line, so it's coming up here towards Peshuta. Again, you'll need to stay into your safe spot for 5 more minutes out towards Paulding, and then after 5 minutes, you'll be done. It'll be moving into Clark County. But the rotation right now is coming up. It's about to cross I-59 near mile marker 124, which is very close to exit 126, which is what Highway 18 is here up towards Peshuta. So it's crossing. It's getting ready to cross the interstate right now. You can still see the rotation. You can still see the greens. You can still see the reds, and we're still watching this thing very carefully this evening. Hannah, do you have anything on your side here? Or are you not seeing anything?
I'm not seeing anything from this.
Oh, okay. So good, no news is good news. Again,
Yep.
I would rather see no news all day long if that meant that nothing happened. That meant that somebody's house stayed intact. That meant somebody's lives didn't get tore up by this tornado. And, hopefully that's how it stays tonight. Hopefully we call up there and they say, hey, nope, we can't find anything, or it was just a tree or two, but it didn't fall on anybody's house or anything like that. But it may not stay that way all night. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here to keep you safe and informed. But there is the latest with the radar. Currently, it is sitting here near Pashuta, and the rotation now crossing I-59 right at the intersection with or near mile marker 124. So exit 126 is the Pashuta exit at 118, and that'll be crossing right at the Clark County line. But the rotation is still there. The debris signature has kind of went away, but we're still watching things out here with this thunderstorm. And this has been a supercell. It's been with us for a couple of hours. We've been watching it basically since it moved out of Lincoln County earlier today, then it moved into Lawrence County. And truly, we've been watching this since it was in Louisiana earlier today. That was around 12 to 1 o'clock when it was just a normal thunderstorm, but then it moved in around the southwest part of the state. It became tornadic, and it's had tornado warnings on it pretty much ever since. And here we are 6 hours later, it's still got tornado warnings on it, and it's crossing into Meridian. So this storm has basically crossed across the great state of Mississippi, and it has one more county to go, and then it'll be moving into Alabama after it moves through Clark County and Lauderdale County. I guess it has 2 more counties to go through, but once it moves through those, it'll be moving into Alabama, up near Sumter County, Alabama. So they'll be getting up towards the Highway 80 corridor. But the rotation now crossing into Clark County, and this is now sitting near the exit 126, so right at Highway 18 at 126 right here near Pashuta, and this is about to move into Clark County, and we're still watching this thing very carefully, but there it is sitting right now on the county line at Pashuta, and it is right now on top of the intersection at the intersection. In fact, let me zoom back in. I want to see that exit number pop back up. Here it is, Highway 18, I-59, exit 126, right near Pashuta. So this is now crossing into Clark County, and is still producing some pretty strong winds with it. It's still tightly wrapped. It's just that we're not seeing that strong of debris signature with it like we saw earlier. In fact, let's show you what a debris signature looks like. It's not there right now, which is some good news. But still, we're watching it, and it still has that rotation. And again, if you have any loved ones over in Clark County, Pashuta, in the Pashuta area, you need to tell them to be in their safe spot because it's sitting right now on top of them as this thing continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. But here we are at 7:11 p.m. This storm has made it almost across the entire state of Mississippi, and again, we've been watching it since it was just showers in Louisiana. It strengthened, it tapped into the atmosphere, it tapped into daytime heating, it's gotten to the shear. It's been tornadic since it left the parishes Louisiana just to the north of Baton Rouge. Then it moved into Woodville, then it moved into Liberty, then it moved through Macomb, then it moved through, you get the idea. It's been a troublesome storm for the state of Mississippi its entire life, and for the last 7 hours. It's crazy to think that a storm has lasted this long, but it has, and it's been producing occasional damage here and there, and we did get that footage earlier this evening. But again, this is moving into Pashuta, and because it's now moving into Clark County, we're about to pass the baton to our sister station, WTOK in Meridian, and if you would like to keep up with them, to keep up with the storm as it moves through their market, which would be Clark County and Lauderdale County, be sure to tune in to them, WTOK.com, and that way you can stay updated. If you have any loved ones up there, you can stay updated there. Now, I want to show you this. Since we're getting ready to go back to regular coverage here in our area, I wanted to show you this. So this right here is what's going on across Mississippi right now. So I'm going to turn on the radar. I'm going to turn off the watches because we obviously know there's a tornado watch out there. But look at this. Here's that one cell, and I'm going to put this into motion. So here's where that one cell has been. Here it is. We're going to back it up 6 hours. This is when it came in into southwest Mississippi, and we've been tracking it ever since as it's moved northeast. Now we're seeing more activity up here towards the Golden Triangle. They got a new tornado warning, it looks like, in effect for areas up around Starkville this evening, and that'll be just to the north and east of Philadelphia. They just had a tornadic storm move there earlier. Now they got another one moving it to what appears to be to Watauga and Lowndes County up towards Columbus and Starkville. Then we got a squall line up towards the north and west of that, up towards the Memphis area. Severe thunderstorm warnings, more tornado warnings in effect over here out towards the Vicksburg area. That'll be moving into Mississippi soon towards I-20. And then as you can see off towards the south, we're still tracking more showers, and we'll have to see if any of those could possibly become tornadic later on this evening. And then all of this will congeal like jello. It'll all come into a line, and then it'll all move down towards the southeast and move through our area during the overnight hours. And so it's going to be a long night here across the Pine Belt. So we're here for the long haul tonight. We're here and we'll stay here until the situation is over. But again, the only warning that we have in the viewing area is now moving into Clark County. And again, if you would like to stay with this storm, be sure to tune into our sister station, WTOK. We're passing the baton on to them. They're going to continue the tradition of great coverage that we have been establishing with this storm. So tune in to WTOK, their website, WTOK.com, up in Meridian. This is moving into their market. So for now, what we're going to do is go ahead and return you to regular coverage. But again, we're going to be here throughout the rest of the night. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated on air, on social media. If we have more tornado warnings, we'll break right back in. And of course, with the WDAM 7 First Alert Weather app. But for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Bigby, live here at WDAM 7. Thank you again with meteorologist Hannah Hayes. So we're going to keep you updated as the night goes on. But for now, we're going to return you back to regular scheduled programming already in progress.